This is PCA Lions Baseball. Prestonwood Baseball is brought to you by Freeform Chiropractic, Children's Health, Andrews Institute for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Harris Baguette, Cowboys Fit, Bass Signs North Dallas, Sky Ranch, Aquaterra Outdoors. Also by Texas Tiny Teeth Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics, Up-to-Date Roofing, Incentive Brands, Chick-fil-A at Plano Parkway and Park Boulevard, Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating, Global Strategic, Milestone Electric, and Vista Physical Therapy. Now, let's go to the ballpark for today's warm-up show.
In the books for the Prestonwood Lions, we turn the page to Game 2 on an absolutely spectacular day in Plano as the Lions get set to entertain Grapevine Faith in the second game of this series. Yesterday it was all PCA thanks to a 7-run bottom of the second inning as they took an early 7-1 lead and coasted to an 11-4 victory over Faith. As they got production pretty much up and down the lineup, they managed to get only 8 hits, and I say only to go along with those 11 runs, but here's the kicker. 10 free passes issued by the Faith pitchers along with a hit by pitch, so essentially 11 free base runners for Prestonwood, and the Lions took advantage of that to chalk up their first victory of the year. Well, welcome to the Lion Warm-Up Show. Chuck Kelly, happy to have you with us here on, again, what is a sensational afternoon. 78 degrees right now as we are still about a half hour away from opening pitch, and the wind a little bit different than what we saw yesterday. It's actually blowing out today, so could be a hitter-friendly ballpark. And, of course, for PCA, they're just looking to continue what they did yesterday, which is take advantage of what was given to them. Again, you look up and down the card and the production that they got throughout the day. Only 2 of the 9 in the batting order managed 2-hit games. One was Max Bachman down in the 5 slot as he went 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Junior Niffen, who got that late double in the 6th, he was also 2 for 3 with a run scored. But aside from that, everyone else just took a hit where they could get it or walks where they could get it, and they all made it work. Now for the pitching side, well, Savion Sims, everything that he was built up to be in a very brief 12-pitch stint in Game 1, and you'll hear Coach James Valet talk about that here in the warm-up show in just a minute. But Sims giving up a ground ball out, back-to-back strikeouts. He looked sensational. Trent Valet followed him. He went an inning, gave up 1 unearned run, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. F.J. Gignard came in and went 3 innings, gave up a couple runs on 5 hits. And then Jake Felsman, who started the game at second base, moved in for the final 2 innings and gave up a run on 4 hits. So 4 guys getting into the lineup as far as the pitching situation for Prestonwood, and they did the job yesterday against the Faith team that dropped to 1-1 on the year after an opening win over Covenant. That was last week. So we come to Game 2, and again, as we said, kind of a feeling out process, not only for Faith with a team that turned over. If you missed yesterday's broadcast, Faith, of course, one of the best teams in the state in their classification. Last year they made it to the state finals, went 26-6 in Division II District 1, but they lost 8 of those starters. And Fort Worth, and of course the staff that includes former major leaguer Jonathan Lucroy. Got to talk to him just a minute ago down in the dugout. They are well versed to get ready to improve and become a pretty formidable team of their own. But for Prestonwood, well, so far so good with that early shot out of the cannon just to get things started. And we'll see today what they will do, particularly in the pitching department, where, again, there's a couple of players that they'll be counting, a couple of pitchers they'll be counting on as they get later in the year. But right now they're on the shelf to start the season, just working through some early stuff, and we'll see how that turns out. And when they get back in, that will provide some depth into that pitching rotation. But for the time being, we'll see who Coach Valade rolls out today. He talks a little bit about that, and you'll hear it in the visit coming. Then we'll start Steele LaBeouf, who will get the call. And again, the LaBeouf name familiar to PCA fans, and we'll talk a little more about him and tell you more about what's coming up. He's the go-to left-hander, a sophomore, who will get the start here in the ballgame today for Prestonwood, and he will be opposed by Jake Serval, who will get the start for Faith as we play game 2 of this series. Now, after this one, on Monday, it'll be a non-district game for the Lions as it will travel down into the southern part of Dallas to Dallas Baptist University. They'll take on Liberty Christian. That's a pretty tasty non-district game, and so that's Monday. We won't have that broadcast for you, but we will have all the home games this year, so we're happy to have you with us for the warm-up show right here on Plano PCA Athletics.org. So we'll take an opening timeout here, and when we return, we will have a visit with the head coach. Get his thoughts. That's James Valade. What's going on in Lion Land, what his thoughts were in Game 1, and we'll talk more about that and have more coming your way after this opening break. You are tuned in to PCA Baseball for Metro Sports Communications.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? Hi, I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
With fast signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With Fast Signs, your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs, make your statement.
More on the Lion warm-up show today. Game 2 of the season here at the Graham, as it'll be PCA taking on Faith. Game 2 of this series. Time now to visit with the skipper, head coach James Valade. Yesterday, an 11-4 victory for your team. Very impressive and very, emphatic the way you guys put it away early with that 7-run second inning. What was your take on the game?
No, I thought setting the tone with Savion Sims out of the gate, electric arm, 98 to 100 miles an hour, hitting spots. I think his strike percentage was really good yesterday, which is something that, for amateur pitchers you love, but that's what we expect from Savion, is to fill it up. I thought we had some patience at the plate. Sometimes early on, opening day, you don't always see that. But our guys were patient. We built some innings, and that 7-run inning was a lot of fun for us.
When you get that crisp start from Savion, I want to go back to him because I think he threw 11 pitches. You were wanting just to kind of let him stretch his legs a little bit out there. When he does that, and he's so quick and so efficient, you had the game plan. That's all he was doing. But did you almost want to say, yeah, go ahead and get another one?
Yeah, no, we kind of stuck to the script with Savion. He did throw 11 pitches, 9 strikes. He is who he is. He's doing what he's doing, and he's in the build-up right now early in the season, and certainly it was fun to see him out there.
And then comes Trent out in the second inning. He had to battle just through a couple of hitters. You had the visit to the mound, and it seems like things settled out after that.
Yeah, it took a mound visit to kind of slow things down. That's one of the things. We don't want the inning to get out of hand. We want to slow things down, communicate what we can do better. It turned into a 3.5-hour game yesterday. I mean, we knew there was going to be a lot of pitching changes from both sides. As far as how the umpires go about their business, it was a hitter-friendly zone last night. Looking at the score, it was not a pitcher-friendly zone. But he made a good adjustment. He battled out, punched out 2 guys, and we moved on to FJ.
How is that as far as importance of having that the early test that you're going to get in some of these games where you get into a little bit of a trouble and then you work yourself out? That's really a big confidence boost.
Oh, it is, and that's baseball for sure. We call them adversity stamps. They're coming. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be a call you wanted you didn't get. There might be a ball kicked behind you. You got to learn how to handle it and move on. And I think all of our pitchers, as you could see through the entire night, kept great composure the whole time, which is awesome for young guys.
You mentioned FJ. We might as well talk about his performance.
Oh, FJ's got he's got a smooth arm. He's got an easy arm. We're trying to encourage him to force tempo a little bit to just get the ball and go. And he's a confident young man. He's very precise in his strike throwing. And for opening day, he did great. He carried the bulk of the load last night, which was impressive.
It certainly helps when you get all those free base runners with the walks and the hit by pitch, but you have to take advantage of it. And when you get a big hit like you got from Maeski there in the second, that really is a catalyst toward a big inning.
Yeah, Quinn's going to give you a quality at bat. I mean, looking at him, he's a junior in high school, but he's going to give you a pro at bat. He's not going to give in. He's going to fight. He understands himself. He understands his swing, understands himself as an offensive player, and that's a fun guy to coach.
So I know a coach, any coach, sees a game and you have your positives, but what you're thinking about are the things that you need to work on. And what were some of those? For us, just overall communication, making sure that signs are dialed in and guys are slowing the game down. I think that's the one big thing with opening day is you want to slow the game down, slow heartbeat. Easier said than done. But for us, it was more on the communication side, the pitcher to catcher work, and those are things that not just us but all teams are trying to work out this time of year. It is a first game for the players, first game for the coaches as well. Do you guys find yourselves working on things saying, okay, note, we're going to do that differently next time?
Oh, all the time. All the time. It's sometimes things pop up in the game and you're like, we didn't cover that enough, or we need to cover it more, or we executed that really well. I thought, when the ball got to the outfield for a hit, our cuts and relays were clean, which, helps prevent big innings. But there's always things you got to go back and you got to readdress and put into practice plans or post-game speeches.
So there's an interesting play, and we were talking about it just before we started the shoot here, a play that occurred in the 5th inning where you had 2 on base, you had the fly ball to the outfield, the catch was made there, both runners tagged and moved up. The back runner got thrown out at second, but Junior was there at third, and then all of a sudden he scored. Describe that, and how are we going to score that one?
As far as describing it, that's one of those things that Junior is a very heads-up baseball player. He's a very good base runner. I tell our young guys all the time to key in on him when he's on the bases because he does things the correct way. As far as scoring it goes, I'm out. I'm flipping a coin. I'm going to defer to others. Maybe call the commissioner's office and say we've got this debate going on, but I don't know. That was a crazy play.
So once you got to the end of the ball game and looked back at it 11-4, how did you feel overall? Because you have expectations coming in. It's game 1, but what were your thoughts once you look back at it?
I thought our hitters did a really good job with 2 strikes, eliminating chase. There's always going to be some chase in the game. But our guys eliminated chase. I thought the base running was really good. It was if we made a mistake, it was an aggressive mistake. It wasn't a mistake that was like, oh, okay, I was on pause and then got beat. But and then as far as the pitching takeaway, looking at how we scripted it out and Jake Felsman coming in to throw the last 2 innings, with the health of our pitching staff right now, we're leaning on some guys, and Jake's a senior. The kid's a warrior in everything that he does, and he went in there and finished up the game, and that's a big moment coming into today.
Were you a little bit concerned the way his first 3 ABs, they tagged him pretty good, and then after that it's like he flipped a switch and said, okay, now my turn? Yeah,
no, you could see he elevated a little bit after a couple of hits, but he's there to throw strikes. He's there to not walk guys. He did exactly what we want him to do. I've seen him pitch in the past. A lot of people that were at the Graham saw him pitch for the first time, but he's a competitor. The compete tool on him is amazing. Even on his signing day, I said, if you get 1,000 ground balls, you're 1,000 behind Jake Felsman. So always remember that. But the kid has been amazing to coach, amazing to work with. He's one of the best leaders we have on this team, and he's a captain for a reason.
Steele LaBeouf on the mound today. So tell us about how you're going to use your rotation in Game 2.
As far as going into Game 2, we got some of the young bucks in the bullpen ready to come out and go, but we're going to lean on Steele for a quality start. He's a guy that has good arm action. He moves the ball around, and if he's getting some early in the count swing and miss, we know he's on.
What was your take on Faith? I know that was only their second game as well, but you're bringing in quality teams to play, and it's good. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, they play every pitch. I mean, it goes without saying. Those guys didn't lay down. They didn't quit. They kept playing. They're well coached. Again, Robert Vaughn is a very good baseball coach, very good leader. Jonathan LaCroix, 10-year big leaguer, coaching first base and calling their pitches. So. I reviewed all of his charts this morning, so we're going to try to get some patterns on that guy.
What does he know, right?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? He's forgotten more than I know. I mean, he was a guy that I missed with the Rangers by 1 year when I was with him. We talked about it before the game, and then my son missed him by 1 year with the Rockies. So I said, man, we were so close to being best friends, and but we missed each other twice. So, but yeah, he's a good person. Strong faith, and just, fun to be on the field with, to be honest with you. Those guys are fun to compete against.
Good luck today, Skip.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is head coach James Valade, and we will have more on the Countdown to Kickoff. Countdown to Kickoff? What is this, football season? See, I did that again. We'll have more as we get ready for first pitch on the warm-up show from here at the Graham. It is PCA and it is Faith. It is coming your way, starting lineups and more. Stick around for Metro Sports Communications.
The Children's Health Andrews Institute is helping me get back into the swing of things.
They're getting me back to reaching new heights.
Back to sticking the landing.
Back to setting goals and scoring them.
Back to more than a game.
As experts in everything from orthopedics to performance training, we specialize in getting DFW athletes back to doing what they love.
Make your dream outdoor space a reality with Aquaterra Outdoors. From full-service design to construction for landscaping, pools, and outdoor structures, we offer everything you need for your ideal outdoor environment. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Aquaterra Outdoors, elevating outdoor living to the next level. Contact us today at 214-387-8333 or visit our website aquaterraoutdoors.com and start your journey to the ultimate outdoor experience.
Well, the respective skippers are meeting at home plate, exchanging the lineup cards. And again, you could tell from the interview just a moment ago with head coach James Valade how much he thinks of Rob Vaughn, the head coach of Faith, as they've been friends for a long time. And this is a really good matchup here, not only on the field, but with these respective coaching staffs. And so they are getting all the ground rules and everything taken care of with the umpires, and it's a great time right now, I guess, to go ahead and give you the starting lineups for tonight's game. And let's start first with the Faith Lions, who come in with a record of 1-1. Again, coached by Rob Vaughn, the native of St. Louis, Missouri. Went to college at the Air Force Academy. Got some stories we'll tell you about that coming a little bit. He's 118.46 at Grapevine Faith. So here's the lineup, top to bottom. Let's start with Pedro Rivera. He is the shortstop for Faith. Cohen Ross will be the second baseman, and he bats second. Jace Walker will be in center field. He hits third. Jesus Leon will be the catcher, and he hits in the cleanup slot. Colton Savage will be at first base. He bats fifth. Stone Thompson will be in right field. He bats sixth. Cody Bowman will be the designated hitter batting seventh. Jordan Sloan will be at third base hitting eighth. And Hudson Smith will be in left field batting ninth. So again for the Lions, it is Rivera, Ross, Walker, Leon, Savage, Thompson, Bowman, Sloan, and Smith, with Jake Serval on the mound. We'll tell you a little bit more about him when he comes out to throw in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the batting order for the Prestonwood Lions, coached by James Valade, the 53-year-old native of Morristown, New Jersey. Grew up in Gladstone, New Jersey. As we mentioned yesterday, the captain on the 95 Baylor team, that's where he graduated from. Here's his batting order today. Junior Niffen will lead off. He is in center field. Trent Valade will bat second. He's at first base today. Cruz Benuelos will be behind the plate hitting third. Aiden Moffitt in the cleanup spot hitting beg your pardon. Yeah, he's in the cleanup spot. He's at third base. Max Bachman will be the shortstop. He hits fifth. Riggs Huggins, the DH, will be batting sixth. Jake Felsman will be at second base batting seventh. Quinn Majewski was our star of the game last night. Hope you enjoyed that interview. He's a fine young man. He will bat in the eighth slot and be in right field today. And Vance Hernandez will be in left field batting ninth. Again, still no Lash Henderson, who is battling that contusion in his hand, so he will not be in the lineup today for PCA as we get ready to start this one. So it is Niffen, Valade, Benuelos, Moffitt, Bachman, and Huggins, Felsman, Majewski, and Hernandez, with left-hander Steele above on the mound for PCA. Again, the weather today is absolutely gorgeous, as it is 78 degrees right now in Plano. And you look back, a couple of weeks ago, and we had temperatures below freezing for several days and had ice on this field that forced the postponement of 3 games. But heck, it's doggone near spring right here on February the 11th, as the temperature today almost tickling 80 degrees. And of course, it's going to stick in the 70s all next week. A front coming in next Friday, and hopefully doesn't interfere with any of the games that we have scheduled here, but we'll see how that all turns out. But anyway, you can't ask for anything more. And again, we told you about the wind now. It is a little bit different. It's blowing out of the north-northwest at about 10 miles an hour, and the flags were moving a little more briskly a few minutes ago, blowing out, but now it's kind of settled down just a little bit. So we'll see how this all turns out before it's said and done. It's a hitter's park or a pitcher's park today. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, we're moving a little bit closer toward the lineup, the lineup's being introduced now to the crowd. Ron Johnson, back behind the PA mic, is getting that done, and we'll have the introductions of the players, and then we'll have the anthem coming up shortly. We do owe you another pregame timeout, so let's go ahead and move that, and then we'll have more coming up. You're listening and viewing PCA Baseball right here from Metro Sports Communications.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then, with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite. That's just a recipe for a good time, you know?
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Are you injured or in pain and not sure what to do? Schedule a complimentary injury screening and talk to our physical therapists at Vista PT to see if physical therapy is right for you. No prescription or referral is needed.
We continue here at the ballpark as the teams being introduced. Faith has just been called out, and now Prestonwood, which is wearing those light blue jerseys, going to be coming out of the first base dugout, and they'll be introduced to the crowd here below. And again, we'll have the prayer and the national anthem coming up here in just a few minutes, but we'll have a little bit more time before we get set to the start of this one. We did start a minute early yesterday at 4:59, but today still got a few minutes, and we're waiting to get the introduction of the home team, and then we'll move closer toward opening pitch. Again, this is the second game of the year for PCA. They've got a busy schedule coming up, of course, in non-district play. They're going to have some tournament games that are upcoming, and you'll certainly want to mark that down, particularly if you want to come out to the Graham and see more action. They'll have more games coming up next week, and again, they've got a couple of tournament games on the road that you'll be able to get a little bit better feel on this club as they go out and play some road action later on. I was looking at some of the games that they have upcoming next week on Thursday. Trinity Christian Lubbock is going to be in on Thursday for a 7 o'clock game. And then on Friday, a doubleheader right now is scheduled. Again, weather permitting, Dallas Christian scheduled to be in at 4:30, and then they'll turn right back around, will the Lions, and play Taka. And that's a homeschool team, and really good story there. And looking forward to seeing them in town. But they'll be in on Friday, and then that will be the 2 games here at the Graham, and there's a game scheduled. It's a TBA on Saturday, beg your pardon, but it won't be here. After that, then, that's when they kind of go to tournament action. They're going to be playing in the Drew Medford Classic. The Lions a little bit later. They're also going to be playing in the Bullard tournament. For that, they'll be going to the Brewer tournament. They're going to play Legacy High School out of Wichita Falls on March the 19th, and they'll turn around and play Cedar Hill that same day. They've got a doubleheader against Brewer and Burleson on the 20th, and then a single game against Keller Central on the 21st. Then that next week, they go to the Bullard tournament, as we talked about last night. That's a small town just south of Tyler, and they'll play against China Spring Hill out of the Tyler area, Bullard, the home standing school, and White House. There in that tournament. And then we mentioned the Drew Medford, which is here locally. They'll play Pascal, they'll play Mansfield, they'll play Weatherford, they'll play Aledo, and those are the 4 games to lead them up toward district play. And then the first district game, by the way, if you're already making plans for that, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day on the 17th of March. You're going to be playing right here against Bishop Lynch to get things started until they turn back around and play 2 days later at Bishop Lynch, and then district play will be rolling at that point for PCA. So a lot of action coming up. Kind of gives you a check of the schedule there and what you have coming. But again, first things first, they've got that non-district game on Monday against Liberty Christian down at Dallas Baptist. Again, it's a fantastic facility. If you've never been there, you need to go just for that. Of course, the Patriots, one of the power teams in college baseball, and that's an incredible venue for that game against Liberty. And then again, next Thursday, they'll be right back here against TC Lubbock at 7 o'clock, and then the 2 games, Dallas Christian and Taka, next Friday right here at the Graham. Well, they have introduced the starting lineups, and we're about to have our pregame prayer, and we'll have the national anthem. So let's join Ron Johnson, the public address announcer.
Remain standing as we honor our country and those that have served to protect it with the national anthem. Gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we are gathered in your name, and we welcome you into our presence. We welcome the coaches, players, and fans from Grapevine as well as PCA as they support their respective teams tonight. We are grateful for the game of baseball and for the life lessons that these student athletes are learning as they showcase the skills and the talents that you have blessed them with. We thank you, Lord, for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and for the gift of eternal life that is offered by faith to those who place their faith and trust in Jesus and him alone for salvation. Bless this game tonight and keep the athletes free from injury. May you be glorified in Jesus' name. Amen.
National anthem to get us ready for baseball. And now we are just moments away from getting this one started between The PCA Lions and the Grapevine Faith Lions, battle of similar mascots. In fact, identical, I guess, as we get set to go. As, again, it's going to be a beautiful evening for baseball. Not even going to be chilly. I see a couple of fans that have sweaters on, but right now it is a shirt sleeve type of day here at the ballpark. And for those tuned in, and you can see the field down below, that shade line is already making its way out toward the mound. Of course, the sun going down behind us, kind of over on the first base side, and you're going to see that shade line creep out from the football stadium, which is right behind us. It runs down the first base line. That's where the homestands are here at the PCA football field at Lions Stadium. So you'll see that line move out as the sun goes down, and we'll see the transition into dusk coming up a little bit later. And of course, we're not that far away from going back to daylight saving time, so we'll wind up having games that will probably have a lot more daylight once we get in, even to the 7 o'clock games. Some of those will have plenty before we get into the later stages of the year. Now then, let's look on the mound and tell you what starting pitcher Steele LaBeouf has going for him. We mentioned that he is a sophomore, 6'2", 185 pounds. Again, he's one of the only lefties that they have at their disposal on the team, so kind of the go-to guy from that side. And, they've got some pitching depth stacked up here on this team. But, if you're going to rate him, he's probably number 4, maybe in a slot. But for anybody who gets the ball, they're going to get the opportunity to go out and do some great things. And LaBeouf gets his chance right here against this Faith team that's trying to find its hitting shoes here early, because they've scuffled a little bit early on trying to get things straightened out. Of course, in the first game, we mentioned getting the 4 runs, and they did manage to get 9 base hits in the game, but they left 10 men on base in last night's 11-4 win for PCA, and that's kind of what did them in there. So with all of that, go ahead and shuffle the deck and get ready for a ball game. Is stepping in for the right side, the leadoff hitter Pedro Rivera, and we're set to go. It's LaBeouf's first pitch on the way, and it's outside ball 1. Our Bull start time is 5:02. Again, the game time weather conditions setting at 78 degrees here at the ballpark, and the wind blowing out at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As a strike delivered through the zone evens it up at 1-1 to Rivera, the shortstop. He'll be followed by Cohen Ross and then Jace Walker. The top of this order is a changeup swung on and missed, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rivera last night went 1 for 4 in the game, had 2 runs driven in. He went 1 for 3 in their opening game against Covenant, as LaBeouf back to the plate, nibbled the outside corner and missed, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, you see something in the uniform matchup today that you see a little more often nowadays. It's a breaking ball, stays downstairs. It'll appeal to the first base umpire, and he did not go, according to Harold Weiner out of this Collin County chapter crew. Wesley Rose calling balls and strikes behind the plate. So we got a full count to get it started. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on and hit sharply to the third baseman. Moffitt vacuums it up, throws across. It skips in on Valet, but a nice pick there. And that'll do it for Rivera, out number 1. 5-3 on the putout. 1 gone. That'll take us to the number 2 hitter, Cohen Ross, the second baseman. Ross went 1 for 4 with a run scored yesterday. 1 for 3 in the opener, so he's got 2 hits so far in the first couple of games. Ross, the left-handed hitter, holds that bat high above. For the first pitch from LaBeouf, lefty-lefty matchup, there's a strike, and it is 0-1. For Ross, he's a senior. That pitch misses outside. Back to the plate we come here. Check it out on the scoreboard. They're trying to get it working. He was having some difficulty early on. I believe it's 2 balls and a strike now after that delivery. I had to work a game a couple of years ago without a scoreboard. You never know how much you count on it until you don't have it when you're doing play-by-play. As the 2-1 pitch is a strike, 2-2. They got the lights here at the ballpark. As we talked about last night, the reason they do that is so it will blend in once you get into the dusk hours. It'll be a natural transition. 2-2 pitch swung on, yanked over to the second baseman. Moving over his left, Felsman has it, throws to first, and Ross is retired. 2 ground ball outs. Two gone here in the top of the first inning, and that'll bring up Jace Walker, the center fielder. So LaBeouf off to a good start so far for PCA. Walker last night went 1 for 3, the run driven in. Had a hit in the opener as well, scored a couple of runs in that game against Covenant as he swings and misses at the first pitch, a fastball outside corner, I guess, and it's now no balls and a strike. Yeah, our scoreboard is acting up as it's not locked in just yet, as that pitch is a strike. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. It's talking about the uniforms. Each team's wearing the colored tops and the white pants. As a swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. So it was an 0-2, and there you go. 3 up, 3 down, couple of ground outs, and the strikeout, very similar to the top of the first yesterday. So that'll do it for Faith here in the first inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Faith nothing, and PCA coming to bat. We're tuned in to Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
You can't do that in a press box. I thought it was somebody out here. I was trying to figure out. For PCA, Niffen to get things started. Trent Valade will be second, and then Cruz Benuelos against Jake Serval, the right-hander who's getting loose out on the hill. And again, we talked about some of the numbers on some of the players for PCA coming back from last year. And the thing about Faith, there's just not a lot to talk about. Serval, though, is one who does have a little bit in his statistical pocketbook, as he appeared in 6 games last year, all in relief. Had an 0-1 record and a 3 earned run average, 3 runs exactly in that category. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, all earned on 4 hits. He did walk 10 and struck out 7. So he's a 2-pitch pitcher. He's got a fastball and a slider. Opponents hit 174 against Serval last year. So we'll see what he can do here to try to negate this Prestonwood offense, which certainly showed flashes of brilliance in last night's game. But we'll see all in all how it sorts out. Again, Serval, again, with a lively power arm, throws in the mid-80s. Showed promise last year as a reliever. Those numbers probably be a starter throughout most of the year this year. So he gets his first start here, and we'll see what he does here against Junior Niffen, who will stand in to get things started. So looking back at game 1, Serval against first opponent, Covenant, pitched an inning in that game, gave up 2 earned runs on 2 hits. He walked 1 and had a couple of strikeouts. So this is his second appearance of the year this year, as Niffen set to go, and he takes a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Junior last night went 2 for 3 with a run scored. Had a couple of walks in the ball game. Pretty much everybody for the Lions had walks as they were handing them out like Christmas candy. Had 10 free passes in the ball game. Last pitch a strike. They've been standing in for the right side. Here's the wide. Serval ready. Comes to the plate. It's a breaking ball that goes outside with that slider. And now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Niffen will be followed by Valade and Benuelos. 1, 2, and 3. The Lions again hitting .296 last year as a team. Off to a good start with those 11 runs they scored yesterday in game 1 as that ball misses outside. Now goes 3 balls and a strike. 2 leadoff hitter, Junior Niffen. Again, if he gets on, he's going to be off and rolling as that pitch is outside. And it's exactly what happens as another free pass issued. And Rob Vaughn and pitching coach Ray Clark, former University of Texas pitcher, over in that third base dugout saying, no, not again. Now, settle down and try to get things going, because they have given up now 21 walks in 2 games plus a batter. That early in the season, as Serval delivers a fastball outside to number 2 hitter Trent Valade, who went 0 for 3 with a run scored. Was hit by a pitch in the second inning, came around to score, also drew a walk in the game. So he was on twice in his 5 plate appearances last night. Big left-handed hitter. That one is swung on and hit foul on the left side. It's chasing away toward the line. Let's see if it'll stay fair. It does hit in fair territory, and Valade will be in with a 2-base hit. Oh, beg your pardon, they had to hold up. That was Niffen that's at second, but he had to wait and see if it was going to be caught. So that meant Valade had to hang on. And this turns out to be a long single as that one was hit down the line, and I thought it was going to be in foul territory as a long run for Smith, the left fielder, to try to get over there. But by the time he did, Niffen, again, who had to stay fairly close to first, was unable to advance past second. So the good news for PCA, they've got runners at first and second, and Cruz Benuelos, the catcher, comes up from the right side, and Serval delivers to the plate, swinging a ball crushed foul. This one over on the third base side. And it is no balls and a strike to Benuelos, who went 0 for 3 with a run scored and a run driven in. That RBI was on a walk, bases loaded walk last night. Benuelos was at the plate when he hit that ball to center field. They had runners at first and second. You might have heard Coach Valade talking about it on the pregame show, but one of the wild scoring decisions that we still haven't figured out yet. We're going to try to sort it out. As that curveball stays inside and high, it's 1-1. The ball was hit to center field. The catch was made. Niffen was at second, and Valade was at first. They both tagged and moved up, or tried to anyhow. Niffen made it third. Valade was thrown out at second, but then they got careless with the baseball. They didn't call time, and as the ball was still in play, Niffen just took off for third and scored. As that one is a curveball that stays inside and high, 2-1. So, again, not sure exactly how he advances on that. We're going to check with one of the official scorekeepers, perhaps with the Rangers, and find that some of the fun things in baseball. You see plays and you're like, okay, well, how would you score that? But anyway, it was a heads-up play by Niffen, and that's just some of the aggressiveness that you'll see from this PCA team. Here's the delivery to the plate downstairs. Goes 2 balls, no strikes here to Benuelos. Will be followed by Moffitt. Pretty good night last night, waiting in the on-deck circles. A chance here for Prestonwood to get on top early and try to put some pressure on Faith. This offense, 2 on, is a swing and a ball hit high in the air toward the left center field. Moving over from center, looking up into the sky is Walker, and he'll make the catch, tagging at second. Moving up to third is Junior Niffen, and he will move up. And it is now runners at first and third with 1 out. Valade stayed put at first base. So runners at the corners. And Aiden Moffitt, third baseman, due up. Moffitt 1 for 3, had 3 runs scored. Busy guy on the base pass last night's game. Again, double play ball right here would get Faith out of the inning. It'll play double play depth up the middle. They hold against the runner at first base. Serval waiting to engage. Now he gets set. Moffitt waiting at the plate. Here's the delivery. That one is a strike. Slider dropped across the outside part of the plate. Backdoored that one in. Moffitt steps out, looks down in the third base coach's box. Coach James Valade giving him some signs. Now back in, stands close to the plate. Then left side batter's box. Crouch down, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, runner goes from first. They fake the throw down, and they'll give the free pass all the way down to second for Valade. And we're going to get into that situation you see so many times where they wind up stealing the run. They did last night one time that worked effectively. Did the Lions, so now 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Again, our scoreboard has just gone kaput here, so we're having to do everything manually here in the booth. Of course, if you're watching online, you've got the score bug to keep you up with it. We don't even have that benefit here in the booth. Here's the pitch. That one's outside for a ball. And he goes to 3 balls and a strike, looks like. plate umpire. Again, we're having to go old school and read his count on every pitch. So a hitter's count here for Moffitt. Max Bachman in the on-deck circle for PCA as we play here in the bottom of inning number 1. No score yet, but PCA knocking at the door as Moffitt, the junior, swings at this pitch and fouls that one back to the screen. Get a fresh baseball out to Jake Serval. Again, our plate umpire, Wesley Hunt, having to remember that everybody needs the count. You're going to have to do that. Not accustomed to flashing it up every time, but perhaps with the scoreboard not working here, I'd be reminded to do that. That curveball stayed downstairs and it drops a little bit low. Runners at second and third, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. No score on a picture-perfect night here at the Graham. Happy to have you with us on Prestonwood Baseball. Next broadcast will be next Thursday right here. That pitch inside, almost got a piece of him as Moffitt kind of bent back a little bit out of the way. And again, we'll check the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. So a full count situation here. Again, first base is open, so you don't have to throw anything too fat to Moffitt, who is a dangerous hitter at the plate. Committed to Blinn, playing his 4th year here at PCA as Moffitt swings and misses. And boy, he had his money on that one as he was swinging for the downs and came up to empty. So Serval with a huge strikeout there, and that puts the second out on the board. And that'll bring Max Bachman to the plate. Bachman, big 6'4" right-handed hitter, standing in. The junior, who's a 4-year starter on this club. Really heady fellow, top 10 in his class. Then offered to Princeton, of all places. As I like to say, ain't no dummies going to Princeton. As he's waiting on the first pitch from Serval, and the delivery is curveball high. That one is plucked down by the catcher, Leon. By the way, I'll give you the defense for Faith. Around the outfield, Smith, Walker, and Thompson from left to right. Sloan is at third base, Rivera at short, Ross at second, and Savage at first. Leon behind the plate, and Serval on the mound. And yeah, both these teams wearing the colored tops here, and you'll see that from time to time. And if there's good contrast, nothing wrong with it. Sometimes the Rangers and Royals both play in their blue tops out in spring training. Drives me crazy. Can't tell them apart. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that one is hit over the glove of the third baseman. That is Sloan and down the left field line, and 2 runs will score, and an early 2-0 lead is that one, I think, off the glove of Sloan as it was hit sharply down the third base side, and Max Bachman drives in a couple of runs, and PCA with a 2-0 lead. Well, he jumped on that pitch and ripped that one to Sloan. Again, Sloan looking into the sunlight, which is not, the shade line has not made it out quite to where he is. I don't know if that was any factor or not, but that ball was hit really hard. And we'll see how they score that one. If that's going to be a hit or an E, we'll get the official scoring momentarily. Is that pitch taken for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Stepping out from the left side, next hitter, Riggs Huggins, a DH. Last night batted a couple of times, drew walks, both times up. So nothing official in his line score except for that run that he scored. Pitch taken for a strike. Two nothing. PCA on top here early. Runner leads at first. Serval very deliberate. Here's the pitch, swung on, and that one is looped out toward the shortstop, and Rivera right there to haul it in, and that will do it for the inning. But PCA gets on top as they get 2 runs that come in on what right now has scored 2 hits. We'll double check on that, and 1 left on. So we go now to the top of the second with a new score, PCA 2 and Faith Christian nothing, and we'll continue with more PCA baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
It's not about fixing air conditioners. It's not about the thousands of hours spent training. It's about homeowners resting easy, knowing they can trust us in their homes. It's about keeping a family cool and comfortable in the dead of summer. At Milestone, it's more than just a job. It is and always will be how we help people.
2-0 as we go to the top of the second inning. Scoring a moment ago, and that drive that was come off the bat of Bachman actually hit Sloan in the glove over on the third base side. We're talking about it here in the booth, but it scored a hit. So we'll see if that's going to stand the test. But it seems like it hit him kind of in the palm and perhaps popped out, but nonetheless it scored a base hit. So it'll be 2 RBIs for Bachman. He'll take that every day of the week. Tip the cap to the score and say, let's move along as we go now to the second, as the first pitch from LaBeouf is going to be taken. And now stepping back in, the hitter Jesus Leon, the catcher, be followed by Colton Savage and Stone Chopson. 4, 5, and 6 here in the order, and there's a curveball for a strike. That one dropped through from LaBeouf, who again is not going to overpower with overpowering stuff like, say, Mr. Sims yesterday. But a swing and a miss, strike 3, and a second strikeout already in the ballgame for a steal LaBeouf, who dropped that one through on Leon. And there's one gone. That'll bring up Colton Savage. Savage, first baseman, hitting in the 5-hole. He went 1 for 2 with a run scored last night. He's got 3 hits already early in the season. And the first pitch is a fastball strike in the outside corner. So LaBeouf has looked really good here early on, as he's gotten a pretty good groove as far as finding the plate. It's a swing and a miss. Boy, right there, Savage came swinging out of his shoes at that point and couldn't come up with anything there. And LaBeouf out in front of the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Back to the plate outside, 1-2. LaBeouf again, 6'2", about 185 pounds, 4-seam fastball. It comes to the mid-80s. Cutter, sinker, has worked on a circle change as well. Several pitches in his repertoire. As that pitch is a called strike on the outside corner, and down goes Savage. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Steele LaBeouf, and that's a heck of a start right here.
Number 7, Stone Thompson.
For the lefties, he will face Stone Thompson, who stands in from the right side batter's box, the right fielder. 5 up, 5 down so far for Faith. First pitch ball taken. As Thompson actually batted down to 7 spots. They moved him up 1 spot in the order. Swings and hits this ball up the middle, right over the bag at second, into center field for a base hit. So there is the first base runner for Faith on a sharp single through the guts of the infield. And Thompson with a base hit on at first. And that'll bring to the plate Cody Bowman, who's going to be the designated hitter here in this game. Bowman was a starting pitcher yesterday, was tagged with a loss as he went an inning and a third, gave up 5 earned runs on 3 hits, walked a couple. Saw his record fall to 0-1 on the year. I'll tell you another thing that we forgot to ask, is that pitch outside ticks off the glove of Ben Willis. I forgot to check, I guess now that I've been kind of turned on a little bit to Game Changer, hopefully I can figure out how to do this now to check the box score, see who got the win, because again, we mentioned it was given to the pitcher that's most effective. It's a scorer's decision. It's that curveball for a strike, and it's now 1-1. But you know, it's kind of a hodgepodge of the 4 pitchers for Prestonwood, and I'm not sure who would be awarded. And we supposed it would be Ginyard who would come up with the win. He threw the most innings in the ball game. He threw 3 innings, gave up a couple of earned runs, but again, it's a scorer's decision, as that pitch is a strike. It wouldn't be Sims because he went only an inning. Same with Valade, went only an inning. But that is when they took the lead. So I'm going to try to find out who that was that they gave the win to. Here's a swing and a miss. And strike 3, down goes Cody Bowman. So Steele LaBeouf is off and rolling as he's got 4 strikeouts here early on. as he strikes out the side, does sandwich a single in there from Thompson, but he's stranded at first. No runs, a hit, and one left as we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 PCA. You're tuned in to Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
Make your dream outdoor space a reality with Aquaterra Outdoors. From full-service design to construction for landscaping, pools, and outdoor structures, we offer everything you need for your ideal outdoor environment. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Aquaterra Outdoors, elevating outdoor living to the next level. Contact us today at 214-387-8333 or visit our website aquaterraoutdoors.com and start your journey to the ultimate outdoor experience.
With fast signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With Fast Signs, your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs, make your statement.
Prestonwood Baseball brought to you today by Freeform Chiropractic. I want to say thanks to Freeform for being a part of PCA Baseball. Also, thanks to Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. Paris Baguette also aboard. Well, good with some of those pastry products they have right across the street here from the ballpark. I'm going to stop by there on the way home, or if you're up early tomorrow, go by for breakfast at Paris Baguette. So we go now to the bottom of inning number 2. 2-0 Lions on top. It'll be the lower third of the order. Felsman, Majewski, and Hernandez to face Jake Servill, who was decent in the first inning, but was tagged for those 2 runs that came in on the sharply hit ball that was ruled a single off the bat of Max Bachman, and brought in both Niffen and Valade. That's where we are right now at 2-0. It's back to the plate, missing there. To Felsman, was a busy guy last night. Of course, started the game at second base just like he is today, but wound up coming in, throwing those 2 innings in relief. Help get to the finish line. It's back to the plate. There's a fastball pumped through the zone. We'll double check the count. 2 balls and a strike here to Felsman. Jake last night, 1 for 3, drove in a couple of runs. Swings at this one and sharply hits it through the left side. A single and a leadoff hit for PCA here in the second. That is their 3rd hit of the ball game as Felsman reaches first. That'll bring up Quinn Majewski, the right fielder, batting in the 8th slot. Majewski again, our star of the game interview last night, after going 1 for 3 with a run scored and 2 runs driven in. Had that 2-run double in the second inning that helped increase that lead. At that point, it was 3-1, but wound up being 7-1. They show bunt at the plate, bunting through it, and it's a strike. So it's 0-1. They have the scoreboard repair crew out now trying to get balls and strikes set and get the scoreboard. It's acting up here, and sometimes you'll have that, and sometimes even a hard reboot won't get it. So right now we're kind of working old school, the fingers for balls and strikes of the umpires. That pitch skips in at the plate, back to the screen, and on down to second base. And a wild pitch goes Feldman. That one was just spiked right there by Servill. So the wild pitch moves Felsman up to second base. Majewski waiting at the plate. We'll double check the count as he steps in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steps back into the batter's box from that left side. Vance Hernandez waiting on deck. In the shade lines, made its way out pretty much 80-85% of the infield covered right now in shade. Swing and a miss on a changeup as he cut through that one, and it now goes to 1-2. Now I was looking at the box score from last night, and I don't even see anyone that got the win, so they didn't mark that in the book. So we're going to figure that out as a swing and a miss. And down goes Majewski. And there's one gone here in the second strikeout of the game for Servill. And that'll bring up Vance Hernandez now, number 9 hitter in the order. left fielder. Hernandez last night split at bats with Chance Kidd, the freshman, who got a pinch hit opportunity. They're in the 4th inning and lined out to the second baseman. Hernandez wound up going 0 for 1, but he did have a run driven in. That was on a sacrifice fly that came in the 2nd inning. First pitch ball, 1-0. Top of the order, Niffen is on deck for the Lions. Again, those powder blue tops with the dark blue numerals. Of course, the bright red you see for Faith, the visitors, out of Grapevine. Ball 0 strikes. Look at the runner back to second. Jake Serval ready. High set, and we'll come to the plate. Swing and a miss. Pumped that one right by him. Count evens at ball and a strike here. Righty-righty matchup right here. Here's the pitch. Slider, that one stays away. 2 balls in a... Oh, they got a strike call to the outside corner. Beg your pardon. Always say just wait. The ump will let you know what the call is. And Wesley Rose said that one was on the outer black. Ball and 2 strikes. I believe the count here as we get ready for Serval. Again, working from the stretch. Looks back to second, disengages. Now back to the bag at second for Prestonwood when Felsman. 2-0. Lions on top here early. Trying for a 2-0 start this season. Here's the pitch. That one stays way high. Curveball that didn't bite. Yeah, kind of a lazy afternoon here in early February. You can't complain when a game starts this early in the year and it's 78 degrees, especially after what we were looking at a couple of weeks ago. Back to the plate. That pitch is downstairs. Nice block by the catcher Leon. He's a good one. And it's now 3 balls. I missed the count. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Back to the plate. That one is outside, ball 4. A free pass sends Hernandez to first base. So now 2 runners on with 1 out. And we'll move it back to the top of the lineup for Junior Niffen. Again, has an opportunity here as the big senior stands in. First team all-district performer last year. Another one of these PCA lifers. Been here for a long time. Has contributed not only, of course, here on the baseball diamond, but on the football field as well, where he was a star on that state finalist team last year. The runners go as he swings and hits one back to the mound, fielded by Serval, throws to first, and it skips past the first baseman, Savage, and all the way down the line. A run scores, and on to third base for the Lions goes Hernandez, to second goes Niffen, and it is a 3-0 ball game, and an unfortunate break for Serval, who had that Baltimore chop, and he knew he had to throw it very quickly to first base to get the fleet Niffen, but by doing so, he actually hurried it and threw it past the first baseman Savage, and that caused more trouble. So a single and a throwing error allows the run to score and moves Hernandez over to third base. So now 2 men in scoring position. And here's Trent Valade, who singled left his first time. The big fella swings, rips this one through the hole on the right side, base hit, and that'll score 2 runs. As on his way to the plate is Niffen, following Hernandez. And just like that, it is now 5-0 PCA. Boy, Valade jumped all over that one and ripped it through the right side of the infield. And again, runs coming to plenty here early for PCA, and they got the hitting shoes on here through the first inning plus as Cruz Benuelos, the catcher, will come up. He flied to center field his first time, so he is 0 for 1 here in the ball game. Benuelos, a senior, second year starting catcher position as he swings and has this one lifted in the air in foul ground. I think right at first base is where Savage is going to grab it, and there is out number 2 as the pop out to Benuelos. Again, it was right on the line, but I believe they call that a foul catch there for keeping score at home. But the F3, I said F2, F3. That's what it should be, so get your scorebook right. And there's 2 gone. That'll bring up Aiden Moffitt, the third baseman who struck out his first time. So 0 for 1. Already a 5-0 lead here early for PCA as Moffitt, the junior, is in his 4th year at PCA. Standing in, waiting on the first pitch. Fastball low. Runner goes from first, and he will get in safely as Valade with the stolen base. That's his second swipe of the game. And you know, especially after hearing his dad, James Valade, head coach in the pregame, talking about the aggressiveness of this Prestonwood team, you know, they'll be moving when they get the opportunity. Moffitt back in, ready to go. Here's a check back to second, and the pitch. Swinging a ball hit toward the third baseman. Slow roller over the glove of Sloan, under the glove of Sloan, I should say, and safe at first is Moffitt on a little slow roller as he beats that one out over on the third base side. And on the plate at third base goes Valade, and there's going to be runners at first and third with 2 out. Again, that was a little cue shot right off the end of that from Moffitt. A tough play for Sloan to try to pick that up and have anything to do with it. But on the play again, Valade moved out to third. And a chance now for even more damage as Max Bachman stands in. He hit that ball hard to the third baseman Sloan his first time. Was credited with a single and 2 RBIs. We'll see what he does here as Serval ready. Comes to the plate. Breaking ball stays inside and high. And it is 1-0. So Bachman has come up really big. A lot of big moments at PCA. Talked about last night that 2-out, 2-strike double he had versus Liberty. The state semifinal put PCA up late as that pitch comes inside with a fastball. And it's now 2-0. So a hitter's count here already 5-0. Prestonwood on top. And we're going to visit the mound as Leon comes out and he wants to try to settle down his pitcher, Serval. Again, it's early in the year. You don't have too much of an idea of where you're going with the pitching staff once you get into, let's see, what would that be? The 7th pitcher would be the next guy up. They threw 5 last night and then Serval today. So once you're getting that deep into the bullpen, if you're Rob Vaughn, you're going to be saying, okay, who's next? I'll give you a shot, a little bit of an audition. Again, they're working hard on the scoreboard here to try to get it operative. So far, no luck. Still playing without that right now. Kind of using my little trick count here in the booth. 2 balls and no strikes. That one is swung on and hit foul outside the bag at third. It goes to 2-1. Runner at third is Valade. At first is Moffitt. And Bachman at the plate for the Lions, who've already batted through the order 1.5 times, and we're not even through the second inning just yet. Been a bit of an offensive bonanza against Jake Serval. From the set, now comes to the plate. That one is low and inside for a ball, and it goes to 3-1. On deck for PCA is Riggs Huggins. He's the only guy that hasn't batted so far in this inning. It's Bachman, the 8th man to the plate against Serval. We're going to give up the 2 runs in the first, but this inning has gotten out of hand a little bit further. To the plate he comes. That one is swung on, crushed to left field, all the way back to the fence. Reaching up and making the catch is the left fielder, Smith. Hudson Smith pulls that one in to end the inning, but man, that was ripped by Bachman. Almost got a 3-run shot right there, but Smith back to get it to end the inning. However, Prestonwood comes up with 3 more runs that they tack on. 3 runs coming on a total of 4 base hits, and they leave 2 on base. So 2 in the books. New scorer here at the Graham. It is PCA 5 and Faith nothing. You tuned in to PCA Baseball for Metro Sports Communications.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
The Children's Health Andrews Institute is helping me get back into the swing of things.
They're getting me back to reaching new heights.
Back to sticking the landing.
Back to setting goals and scoring them.
Back to more than a game.
As experts in everything from orthopedics to performance training, we specialize in getting DFW athletes back to doing what they love.
Chuck Kelly with you at the ballpark. Happy to have you along today on a Friday afternoon. It is 5-0 PCA on top of Faith as we go to the top of the third. And Steele LaBeouf, who's been really good so far, has been stanked to a significant advantage here. And that's always the pitcher's best news, is when they get out and have all kinds of wiggle room. And so far, so good for LaBeouf. Again, ready to head back out. He's talking to his dad. CJ was saying that he can throw plenty of pitches in this game. He's not on a short pitch count at all. He comes back to the plate, and there's the first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Steele Maverick LaBeouf, born November 5th, 2009. How weird does that say as a sound to say as a grown-up? 2009. That pitch is a strike, and it is 0-2. Here's the pitch. That one just missed the outside corner. It's 1-2. Tried to backdoor that one across. And now goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Here's that pitch outside for a ball. Now goes to 2-2. Good student, AB average in class. JV pitcher of the year last year. The delivery is a called strike 3. And down goes Jordan Sloan, the hitter at the plate. Apologize for not giving his credentials properly, but it was Sloan who went down. That'll bring up Hudson Smith now. I'm fascinated with the repair that's going on to my left. Again, the scoreboard has not been operating all night, and they've just gone to the hard reset, and we'll see if it will come to life here and perhaps get things going shortly. It's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. In the meantime, I'm still using my fingers here below the desk to help keep count of what the balls and strikes are, because our plate umpire Wesley Rose, again, no fault of his. They're not used to having to show the count every pitch. It's now 1-1. Here's a swing and a ball hit in the air toward right field. Moving over to his left underneath it is Majewski, and he'll put it away. And there's out number 2 here in the third inning. Well, back to the top of the order we go for Pedro Rivera, who in his first at bat bounced out to the third baseman Moffitt. So he is 0-1. Rivera, a right-handed hitter, standing in. Told you last night, his coach Rob Vaughn said he's one of the best shortstops, if not the, that he has ever coached. That is some high praise, as that pitch through the zone, and that one is low for a ball. Well, I lost my count. I think it's 2-0, but we'll see. LaBeouf ready and delivers to the plate. That one is high for a ball. Well, the good thing about LaBeouf, again, with this lead, is he's pitching quickly, and that's what you want to see. You know, defense behind you don't want to be standing around. Just get it up there and let's go. And that's a 4-pitch walk as second base runner of the ballgame for Faith, as Rivera draws the free pass. He will scoot down to first base, a 2-out base runner. Now to bring up Cohen Ross, the second baseman, who bounced out to his counterpart, Jake Felsman, in the first inning. So he is 0-1. Ross, a very solid defender, committed to East Texas Baptist University. He swings at this pitch and fouls that one over on the first base side. It's 0-1. Well, I think we have a working scoreboard. How about that? Let's tip the cap to the gentleman going down the first base stands, because now I think we're in business. As a swinging a looper into shallow center field. Backing out is the second baseman, and Felsman there with the backhand to put it away, and that will end the inning. So a little looper out to shallow center field, but Felsman went out and got it, and that'll put an end to this inning. No runs, no hits, and one left. So another 0 on the board for Steele LaBeouf. He is off and rolling here in this one. And we go to the bottom of the third inning. Still PCA 5 and Faith nothing. As you're tuned in to Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
Hey there, Lion Nation. I'm Rudy Casanova, owner and president of Global Strategic Business Process Outsource Solutions. In athletics, teamwork is everything. Each player has a role, and when they come together, they achieve greatness. At Global Strategic, we believe the same principle applies to the workplace. When the right people come together, your business thrives. Let Global Strategic help you build a winning team at work. Visit www.globalstrategic.com for more information and schedule some time with me or one of my team. The Casanova family and Global Strategic are proud supporters of the PCA Athletic Program. Go Lions!
Are you injured or in pain and not sure what to do? Schedule a complimentary injury screening and talk to our physical therapists at Vista PT to see if physical therapy is right for you. No prescription or referral is needed.
To the bottom of the third inning we go. It is 5-0. Prestonwood on top, as it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Riggs Huggins, Jake Felsman, and Quinn Majewski due up here against Jake Serval, who's going to go a little ways tonight. As so far, he has done fairly decently, limiting the damage. Again, giving up the 5 runs. That's certainly more than he wants to allow through a couple of frames. But PC had a chance to really tack on a lot more and blow this one wide open. So give Serval a little bit of credit for keeping them in check. Again, the 5 hits so far in the game for PCA, compared to 1 so far for Faith. And Faith with the only 2 errors in the ballgame is gets set for the number 6 hitter in the lineup for Prestonwood to come to the plate. Huggins standing off to the first base side of the plate area. Now he will make his way in closer. Huggins, sophomore, had some varsity at bats last year. There's a family tie with head coach James Valade. Riggs' uncle, Trent Goree, actually played for Valade at UT Tyler when he was the coach there. Oh, connection made there early as that slider swung on and hit high in the air. Towards center, you're going to drop in for a hit. Is moving over is Walker, and he'll get it back to the infield, but Huggins, first ball swinging with a leadoff single, and that'll bring up Jake Felsman, who singled his first time and came around to score. That 3-run second inning, now a 5-0 game. 4 of the runs so far off of Serval have been earned. 1 there in the second was not earned. Runner leads at first. Pitch is the batter, Jake Felsman, who again had that single to left. Came around to score. Felsman, a senior. Very quick player. Best hands on the team defensively at the plate. Really grind against opposing pitchers. That slider stays outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, again, not to belabor the point, but, you know, it's just night and day when you have a working scoreboard that keeps the count for you, and you don't have to do that with your own fingers under the table. That curveball is a strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2. Well, I'll probably be shouted down here in the booth for bringing it up, but this game is a much crisper pace than what we saw that slogfest last night. So for that, I'm very fortunate. We get a balk called as the pitcher, Serval, turned toward first, did not throw over as the runner dived back into the bag. Huggins, but he'll get the free pass to second, so a balk puts the runner in scoring position, and that'll bring up Felsman. Back, or not bring him up, but bring him back in with a chance with the runner in scoring position. A hit could increase this lead even more. So now Serval Peering in for the side with that low set. Delivers to the plate when it's high for a ball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Telling you a little bit about Faith earlier, and mentioned Rob Vaughn, the head coach. Actually born in Panama. Grew up in the St. Louis area. Swinging a ball hit high in the air, deep down the left field line. That one is chasing toward the corner, and it's down for extra bases. A run into score. Into second goes Felsman. He's got 2 hits in the game, including a double. It's an RBI there, and Prestonwood now leads it 6-0.
The batter for the Lions, the right fielder, number 28, Quinn Mayeski.
So that balk helping to get Higgins. I'm not sure if he would have scored either way. He's going for first. I think that's going to be an earned run for right now. Of course, that could change depending on how the rest of the inning goes. As now Quinn Mayeski stands in. Mayeski, 0 for 1 in the ballgame, struck out his first time. Here's the pitch. That one drops through the zone for a strike. And it is 0-1. Another nice crowd here at Graham Field in Plano to watch this one. Had a pretty hefty crowd last night as well on the season opener. Good to see early excitement here at the ballpark. Lights are on now. There's a swing and a ball hit over on the first base side that is going to be fielded in fair territory by Savage. And he steps on the bag to get the out, as that was right on the bag, but Savage doing a good job to field that one on the fair side of the foul line and able to step on the bag. There's out number 1. Over to third base on the play goes Felsman, and he has an opportunity going to have a pinch hitter coming up here as Colt Hare is being summoned from the first base dugout by James Valade. So Colt Hare is going to have an opportunity to drive in this run here in the 3rd inning. As Hare hits for Hernandez down to the 9 spot. Harris Sr.'s 3rd year on the varsity. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Here's Dad Ritchie, an assistant coach. Probably known for a lot of guys that enjoy golf for being the director of golf at the Maverick Golf Ranch out near Aledo, Parker County area. The pitch is a strike. It's now 1-1. Hare's older brother Tripp was a PCA baseball player under previous coach Mike Mack. Went on to Rollins College in Florida. Here's a swing and a tapper back to the mound. Speared by Servo, looks to third. He throws to first in time to get the out. So that one was pounded right down into the turf by Hare, and he's retired 1-3 and unable to get the run home. So with 2 out, they'll have another chance as Junior Niffen, who's reached in both of his plate appearances, up for the 3rd time in 3 innings. That means things are going good offensively if you're PCA. He's walked, had that infield hit the last time, and he didn't score those 2 runs. At third, it's Felsman. And the pitch. Slider stays inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Mentioned the shade line that moves out across the infield in the early stages of a 5 o'clock game. Well, it's made it pretty much all the way out into the outfield now as the sun is setting. It's a swing and a foul tip into the mitt. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. You still see some slivers of light in the outfield. Matter of fact, left fielder, center fielder, still looking toward the sun. The shortstop, Rivera, and the second baseman, Ross, still in sun in the upper part of their body. Pitch is a called strike, and it's now 1-2 here to the batter at the bottom of the 3rd. Prestonwood on top, 6-0. Going to add another run here as Niffen has that great speed from the right side, swings at that one and fouls it out of play. It's a big loopy slider that he threw up to the plate. Servals so far has thrown 48 pitches. Half of those have been strikes. Here's the line of the pitch. That one's outside for a ball. Now, let me reverse field here because this is early season, and this is learning things. We had a pitching change, and that is Caleb Clendaniel who is throwing. So I beg your pardon. It's not Serval, it's Clendaniel who we saw last night, and that one has popped back to the screen, and that one just totally got past me. And I do beg your pardon. So Clendaniel, who last night at the plate wound up going 0 for 2. He took over to start this inning, so Serval was actually finished after 2, gave up the 5 runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Foul at the plate, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a little different in high school ball. Of course, in the pros, when there's a position change, you'll see the plate umpire, make the call, and he'll wave to the press box and say, you see that? And there's the change. Here, you have to have the binoculars and everybody checking to see the personnel. Either that or you have to follow Game Changer very closely, which I was not. So I do apologize to the Faith fans because I had misidentified your pitcher for this half inning. But Caleb Clendaniel is in there, the junior. Trying to keep the lid on this one where it is right now, but trying to keep the lid off is Niffen, who stands back in for the right side batter's box. Again, the runner at third. Set at the belt and the pitch. Swinging a ball hit out toward the shortstop. Going to be a tough play to throw to first. Not in time. Well, I was waiting on that one to get out to Rivera and see if he was going to play because Niffen can fly. And indeed he could not, and he beats out another infield single, and it is 7-0 Lions as Felsman crosses the plate. Well, how about that RBI? Felsman scoring. Trying to see now, that might make that run earned. I think it does. Actually, yeah, it does. That'll now make the one where the balk was involved. It had changed to an earned run. So both of these runs in the inning are earned against Clendaniel. And again, I beg the pardon of our Faith fans. I know a lot of their players were tuned in yesterday, checking out the broadcast. So, Caleb, I apologize for that, but just calling high school baseball solo. Sometimes you miss those changes when they come in. I certainly did. Runner goes. Throw down is not in time. It's sliding safely with the stolen base, junior Niffen. They continue to put the heat on here. And now with a 7-0 lead and a no-ball, 2-strike count here to Trent Valade at the plate, who has 2 singles in the ballgame and 2 stolen bases. He also scored a run. So Serval again, 2 innings, 5 runs, 5 hits. 4 of the 5 were earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. As a swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt, and down goes Valade. And Clendaniel gets out with gets out with any further damage. But the Lions score a couple of runs in the inning, coming on 3 base hits, and there was 1 left on. So tack on those runs to the board, and a new score through 3. It is PCA 7 and Faith nothing. You're tuned to Prestonwood Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
With friendly and knowledgeable dealers who install long-lasting and reliable systems, you can trust Comfort Maker to keep you a step ahead with advanced technology and exceptional comfort.
Top of the 4th inning, with Preston with a 7-0 lead. Chance to tell you that tonight's game brought to you in part by Vista Physical Therapy, by Milestone Electric, Global Strategic checking in, as well as Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating, all these proud sponsors of PCA Broadcast. Happy to have them all aboard. Steele LaBeouf has been given a wealth of support tonight from his offense, and he has taken full advantage on the hill as the sophomore has looked really good out there. Through 3 innings, he's given up just the 1 hit, has 1 walk, and he struck out 5 Faith Lions as he has thrown only 41 pitches through the first 3 innings. 26 strikes and 15 balls, and that's what you're looking for. And now Jace Walker going to lead things off here for Faith as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Walker to be followed by Jesus Leon and Colton Savage. So the heart of the order, 3, 4, and 5, as Faith will try to at least chisel back into it a little bit. As LaBeouf ready in the first pitch. Breaking ball, it's just a bit outside, back to the screen. 1 ball and no strikes. We're telling you about their coach, Robert Vaughn. This is really cool. His mom, Jean, actually saw Stan Musial play. I told you they grew up in St. Louis, right? Here's the pitch, that one down low, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. She got to see Stan Musial play baseball in Old Sportsman's Park in St. Louis. She lived to 100 years old. And that is one of those baseball memories as a strike makes it 2-1 that you never forget. So that's quite a story for Mama Vaughn. Swing and a miss as LaBeouf wasting no time back to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tell you about his dad, Kenneth. He was a B-17 bomber pilot back in World War II. As that pitch is low for a ball. He was shot down New Year's Eve in 1943 and was a prisoner of war. Got liberated with a Russian offensive. Help open the door there in 45 as the swing and a ball looped out toward the shortstop area. Picked there by Bachman, throw to first. And that one is not in time, or did they get him? They got him, okay, at first base. I heard a little ooh and an ah, and so a nifty play there to get the out at first. And there's one gone here in the 4th. So, again, a little bit slowly hit a ball out towards short and a throw over. And I didn't know if got there in the nick of time. But played with the pick, and it's the one out on the board as the first pitch, ball 1 here to Leon, who struck out his first time. Here's the pitch downstairs. Yeah, his dad, Kenneth Vaughn, was in the Air Force, or in that particular part of the defense, for 27 years. That ball is swung on and hit high in the air toward right center field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder, Majewski, as he stepped in front of Niffen and made the catch. And there is out number 2. So again, still LaBeouf is rolling right along. The only hit he gave up was to Stone Thompson, who's in the on-deck circle right now. That was a hit center field back in the 2nd, but aside from that, the only other base runner that Faith had was the batter Rivera with 2 out in the 3rd, who drew a walk. So it's been all LaBeouf here in this game, and he's looked really, really good. Throws a strike here to get started in Savage. That's been the key. He's been in front of almost every hitter as the 1-strike delivery swung on and missed. And strike 2. Yeah, so it makes sense after I told you what Dad did, that Rob Vaughn was a 26-year Air Force veteran. Went to the Air Force Academy. Here's the pitch, swung on, and that one is popped back out of play. And it goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Faith, just like PCA, putting a lot of players into next level baseball, is a swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the inning as Savage is retired on strikes. And still LaBeouf has just absolutely dealt so far in the first 4 innings of this game as he sets the Lions up and down in order, and he is now retired 7 of the last 8 hitters. Another 0 on the board. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We're halfway through this one. It's 7-0 PCA as you're tuned to Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
It's not about fixing air conditioners. It's not about the thousands of hours spent training. It's about homeowners resting easy, knowing they can trust us in their homes. It's about keeping a family cool and comfortable in the dead of summer. At Milestone, it's more than just a job. It is and always will be how we help people.
Seven nothing Prestonwood as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's going to be 3, 4, and 5. The heart of the order due up here, and we're going to double check to make sure that yes, it is indeed Caleb Clendaniel who is out to pitch his second inning. We fell asleep here at the switch and didn't get the change after the second inning, but he did come out for the third, gave up the 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits. Did have a strikeout, and he will face Cruz Benuelos, who is 0 for 2. Here in the ballgame. His fly to center field and popped out right near first base to Savage in the last inning. Here's a swing and a roller along the ground out to the shortstop, fielded by Rivera, throws to first. And Benuelos retired. 6-3 on the putout. 1 gone here in the fourth. PCA Baseball brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. Boy, how good would a chicken sandwich be right now? Plano Parkway and Park Boulevard. Matter of fact, how about one of those party platters from Chick-fil-A for your Sunday? Now, what's going on Sunday? I don't know if you can get it like on Saturday and put it in the refrigerator overnight, but it could be a good time to have a party platter if you're going to have a big Super Bowl party. Of course, I guess it'd still be good by that time. You can warm it up. Pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. My soon-to-be 16-year-old son asked me the question that millions of Americans have asked the other day. He said, is that pitch outside for a ball, 2-0? He said, why does every time you want Chick-fil-A and you realize it's Sunday? But again, major props and respect to that organization for respecting the Lord and keeping that day closed. You need something else. That pitch drops through for a strike, and it's 2-1. But yeah, the one here at Plano Parkway and Park Boulevard, proud to bring you PCA Baseball. As there's a strike, and it's now 2-2 to Aiden Moffitt, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Infield hit his last time after striking out in the first. That one is swung on, hit opposite way into shallow left field, giving chase in a hurry. Coming on is the left fielder, and the ball drops, and sliding into second is Moffitt with what's going to be a bloop double as Smith came in, tried to get there. Rivera, the shortstop, also digging for it, but neither could come up with it, and Moffitt winds up at second base with a 2-base hit. And that is the second double of the ball game for Prestonwood. And they've got a man in scoring position here in the bottom of the fourth inning with 1 out. Well, again, that one was hit out into a no man's land and winds up being a 2-base hit for Moffitt. We'll certainly take that. And now Max Bogman comes up. 1 for 2 so far in the ball game, as the first pitch is going to be a strike called. It's 0-1. 7 runs, 9 hits so far in the ball game for PCA. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors for Faith. So it's been lopsided here on the field. Again, PCA back in action on the road on Monday. No broadcast for that one. It'll be at DBA against Liberty Christian. They'll be back here next Thursday for the next game at the Graham. Did we get another balk called? I believe we did. As trotting down to third base goes Aiden Moffitt. So it's a second balk that's been charged against Clendaniel, who came on in relief of the starter, Jake Servo. And the pitch low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clendaniel, a junior, 5'9", 185 pounds, from really a blue-collar guy. One of those grinders out on the mound. Dropped that one through the zone, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clint Daniels, second pitcher of the ball game. 1-2 pitch, swung on. That one hit in the air toward left field. Underneath it, making the catch is Smith, tagging at third, Moffitt. Here he comes. He will score. And it is now 8-0. Sacrifice fly to an RBI for Bachman. And the Lions continue to keep their foot on the gas so that Balk allows the runner to move up to third, and then he scores on that sacrifice fly. So for now, that will be an unearned run. Again, that could change depending on what happens here with Riggs Huggins coming to the plate, the DH. Huggins in his first at bat lined out to the shortstop to end the first, and he singled and scored a run in the third. So 1 for 2 as he takes ball 1. Again, no Lash Henderson, 5-tool superstar for the Lions in the lineup. He has a minor injury that's keeping him out of the lineup early on. It's a swing and a miss. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The offense has not been short for runs as they've got 19 through about a game and a half. Here's a slider swung on. That one lifted in the air toward right field, heading back toward the wall. Looking up, it's gone! Home run for Riggs Huggins. A solo shot as the right fielder Thompson went back, gave it a look. And the lights will dance here at the Graham as now a 9-0 game. And Riggs Huggins got all of that. When we mentioned that wind that was blowing out earlier might help the ball hit toward right and right center field, but right now the flags are hanging limply out in center. So he didn't need any help at all for that. 9-0 score. And now Jake Felsman coming up, the second baseman, who is 2 for 2 in the ball game. And that pitch is a little bit high for a ball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Well, that put a charge not only into the team, but the crowd as well. That pitch sails inside, back to the hitter. Well, he got a piece of him, I guess. I thought he ducked out of the way to Felsman, but he got nicked by that pitch, and he's going to go to first base. The hit batsman will put a runner on with 2 out. That'll bring up Quinn Majewski, who has struck out and popped out to the first baseman. So 0 for 2. The big night he had last night, been held in check so far. So again, you always start to think about it when it's a 9-run advantage, or at least a big lead like this. You start thinking about potential 10-run rules. The swing ball hits sharply to the third baseman off the chest of Sloan, picks it up, throws to first, and he threw it away. Down the line it goes. They will bring the runner to third and hold him right there, as that was an absolute rocket shot hit right at the third baseman, Sloan, by Majewski. Hit him right in the chest, and yeah, he's going to need to be attended to as quickly. James Valade comes out of the third base coach's box, and now head coach Robert Vaughn comes out, and they're going to bring Doc out of the dugout over on the first base side to take a look at him, because that hit him right squarely in the chest, and he picked it up and threw wide to first. And they're going to have to provide a little medical attention right there. So score that a single for Majewski, who absolutely scalded that ball, and then charge an error. And that's a tough error, because you're one tough hombre if you can still have the presence of mind to pick up a baseball after you take a shot that's probably many miles an hour off the bat. So tip of the cap to Sloan, and the fans here give him a hand, because again, he's a tough dude, and said, all right, I'm fine, enough of that. So,
Number 5.
So let's get back to playing some baseball. So Sloan, again, that fellow we told you that's Mr. Country, all that family down in the Comanche area. He's a country fellow with a belt buckle and, kind of that gait going on. You expect him to be one of the tough guys on the team. And after taking that shot, he said, hey, come on, let's play baseball, and that's what we're going to do. So runners at second and third, and now we go to the bottom of the order. And the first pitch here to the batter, Chance Kidd, who gets his second AB of the year. Kid came in to hit last night and wound up being robbed of a nice play and a ball hit out towards second base. Big, tall freshman standing in for the right side batter's box. Daniel Reddy comes to the plate. That ball is swung on and hit over on the right side. High hopper to the second baseman. Ross has it, throws to first, and that'll do it for the inning. So Kidd retired 4-3, and that'll put a lid on this one. But for the fourth straight inning, the Lions put runs on the board as they come up with a couple, including that solo homer by Riggs Huggins. First home run of the year for PCA. They had 11 last year, but that's the first in 2026. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 left. We go now to the top of the 5th. Brand new score. It's PCA 9 and Faith nothing, as Lion baseball continues from Metro Sports Communications.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then, with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite. That's just a recipe for a good time, you know?
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Top of the 5th inning, we go 9-0 PCA. We've got a new left fielder in the ball game for the Lions as Danny Looney checks in. The senior goes into left where Vance Hernandez started the ball game. Again, they've had a couple of pinch hitters down to the bottom of the order in that 9 slot, but Looney now in left. His first ball swinging, a ball popped up over on the first base side near the dugout off the bat of Stone Thompson. As Thompson scheduled to be followed by Bowman and Sloan here in the 5th inning for Faith, which has managed only 1 hit so far in the ball game. Here's the delivery. It's outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh my. Getting text here in the booth, and I want to preface this by saying that this is an internet hoax before I even say it. As that ball is swung on and hit high in the air out to left field, it'll drop for a hit. As to first base safely goes Thompson, and he will be in with the second hit of the ball game off Steele LaBeouf, who again had been almost bulletproof.
Next batter for Grapevine at 17, the designated hitter, Cody.
That'll bring up Cody Bowman, the DH, who started last night. Struck out his first time. He's 0 for 1 in the game. So Bowman, again, the quarterback for Faith on the football team, transferred from Byron Nelson. That's in Trophy Club. His sophomore year, he takes the first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. But yeah, there's a hoax going around on the internet. And again, I'm prefacing, I'm telling you what I'm about to say, it's a hoax, so don't anybody freak out as the ball swung on and popped out of play over on the first base side. If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, my good friend, one of my best friends, Craig Way, there's a deal going around saying he passed away today, and it's going around, and I just got a text from a local baseball coach. He's a big Longhorn fan, and a lot of fans of Craig, and saying, did Craig pass away? No, he did not. It's internet hoax. So that pitch for a ball inside. So it's just kind of unnerving in 2026 and stuff like that, hits the internet and boom, it's gone. And people are like, what? And, you got to clean up after that. And, Craig's already sent me a text. We had a text thread with a bunch of buddies today. And he said, well, I don't know whether to be honored or, I'm still living or, or what, as that pitch is inside. But for Texas Longhorn fans, of which I am not, it's great news that Craig is still with us and be here for the future. Here's the 2-2 swung on, and that one is hit over to the third baseman Moffett. Going to have to throw hard to first, and it's in time for the out. What a cannon there for Aiden Moffett, who guns down Bowman, and Thompson moves up to second base.
Next batter for Grapevine, third baseman, number 24, Jordan Sloan.
So here comes Jordan Sloan, and again, he took that shot right in the chest that last inning, and none the worse for wear as he stands in from that right side batter's box. As Sloan with a big body swings and pops this one over on the first base side. Reaches Valade, and he made the catch. Oh my word! Trent Valade went over against the fence. And it's one of those that, you know, a lot of guys would have given up on and said, there's no way. And he went out and somehow robs Sloan of an at bat. And that is a highlight play for sure. Huge star by that one. Valade with a wow grab. And there's two gone. Well, here comes Hudson Smith. Man, if you're Faith, you see stuff like that and you're like, yep, it's not our night. Here's LaBeouf to the plate. Curveball stays high. Check the numbers now on LaBeouf. Now up to 65 pitches in the game as he missed that one. 2 balls and no strikes. Again, they had the pitching set up last night. Savion Sims went an inning. Trent Valade went an inning, and then they turned it over to the rest of the pen as a swinging ball hit back through the middle. Diving, unable to keep it on the infield is Felsman. They're going to hold the runner up at thirds. The shutout stays intact with runners at the corners, but what an effort right there by Felsman to try to go over and keep that one on the infield, but Smith crushed that one. And runners at first and third right now. As we go back to the top of the order for Pedro Rivera. Have a chance to get him off the schneid here. As Rivera, who Coach Vaughn said has just an extremely high baseball IQ, has a collegiate level glove out on the field already as a junior. And he's from Mexico, his heritage, and he has that Latin flair that a lot of those players from Latin American countries have. So that means he can get it going at the plate and the dugout anywhere. As the 1-0 swung on, and that one is hit sharply foul down the third base side. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Pedro Rivera at the plate. Runners at first and third here in the top of inning number 5. It is 9-0. PCA on top as LaBeouf ready deals to the plate outside for a ball. And it's now 2 balls and a strike. Here's the delivery, check swing. That one is a little bit outside. That goes to 3 balls and a strike here. So LaBeouf having to work a little bit right here. Looking at his bio, Steele lists his favorite major league player is Nolan Ryan. That's a pretty good guy to choose if you're a pitcher, particularly. Big Ranger fan, as so many people are in this area. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Try to nibble the outside corner. He got it. The outer black, and it's now 3-2. Well, the runner from first will get a jump with 2 out. Here is the pitch on the way. Swung on, and this one is hit into the gap in right center field. It's down and will get all the way to the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score. On his way to third base, sliding with a triple is Rivera, and Faith is on the board, and it's now 9-2. Well, that ball struck well by Pedro Rivera, who gets a couple of RBIs here in the ball game. as he drives in both Thompson and Smith.
For Grapevine, second baseman number 1, Cohen Ross.
And that'll make it, again, a 7-run deficit now for Faith as they'll try to claw back into it. And now the skipper for Prestonwood will come out and kind of bring the hook with him. As James Valade says, hey, it's been a good day for Still Above, as he's starting to go back through the order now for the 3rd time. And that triple is going to send him to the dugout over on the first base side. So a pitching change here in the bottom of the top of the 5th inning, beg your pardon, and we'll tell you who's coming in and have more. Let's go ahead, fellas. Let's move to that next break. Let's take a break right here, and we will continue in order. We'll do a little housekeeping here, but a timeout for a pitching change. It's 9-2, Prestonwood on top, and we'll have more in a moment. Listening to Lion Baseball right here from Metro Sports Communications.
The Children's Health Andrews Institute is helping me get back into the swing of things.
They're getting me back to reaching new heights.
Back to sticking the landing.
Back to setting goals and scoring them.
Back to more than a game.
As experts in everything from orthopedics to performance training, we specialize in getting DFW athletes back to doing what they love.
New pitcher for Prestonwood is Connor Vitale, who comes in relief of Still Above. And what a job that the young sophomore did tonight as he goes 4 2/3 innings. Right now is giving up 2 runs on 4 hits. He walked only 1, had 6 strikeouts in the ballgame. The sophomore does his best to make his stamp for Coach James Valade and say, you can count on me when you need me. And the lefty did his job here, and we'll take that one to the locker room and is set up pretty good shape for the win, although of course we've still got baseball to be played, but he leaves the 7-run lead. And new pitcher is Connor Vitale, who's going to come in, a right-hander, 6'2", 200 pounds, a junior. Vitale throws a fastball in the mid to upper 80s as a slider, and there's a pitch called a kick change. They said it kicks like a screwball. So if you know anything about baseball, that's what he could throw from time to time. But again, fastball and slider mainly, and we'll see what he does here to the number 2 hitter in the order, Connor Ross. Stands in for that left side batter's box, and the first pitch is outside and high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. So Vitale out in relief of Still Above, who did a heck of a job on the hill. And we'll see what Vitale does here as he comes back to the plate with the fastball low, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Chase Walker, the number 3 hitter, is on deck for Faith. And the Lions 1-1 into this game. Faith Lions, both teams with the same mascot. PCA winning its season opener yesterday at 1-0. Had the belt. Vitale disengages. Now steps off the back of the mound. Of course, an artificial surface all the way around. No dirt to speak of. It's all carpet. It's painted different colors. If you're looking at it from an airplane, it looks like a traditional baseball field. As that curve stayed outside, and it's 3-0. Of course, these are all the rage nowadays because you don't have any maintenance. You can play baseball just about any time you want to. You can get a big rainstorm, and 10 minutes later you can play. It'll wash right away and get ready to play ball. Now, you can't do that with ice, as we found out a couple of weeks ago. There's a curveball for a strike, and it's now 3-1. Big PCA Lion out in center field, the logo. So many schools put their mascot out there. We have that right here at Prestonwood. 3 balls and a strike. Runner at third. The pitch swung on, and that one is hit through the hole over on the right side, base hit. And another run in to score, an RBI single for Cohen Ross, and it is now a 9-3 ball game. Well, nice piece of hitting right there by Ross as he drives in Rivera. Ross picks up 4th hit of the inning for Faith, and that's after the Lions had come in with only 1 hit the entire day. So 9-3. Breaking ball, strike on the outside corner to Jace Walker, the center fielder, who has struck out and grounded out in his 2 plate appearances. Walker adjusts his batting helmet, stands back in. Walker, a junior. That pitch comes all the way back to the screens. It's going to be a wild pitch, move the runner into scoring position. Ross now at second base. 2 out here in the 5th inning. Walker, we told you last night, is a twin brother Jackson, is a linebacker, the football team. Jace plays slot back on the Faith football team. Is that pitch outside for a ball, 2-1. So you got the Walker boys, one on the offensive side, one on the defensive side. I'd like to see them in that Oklahoma drill against each other and see how that turns out. Jace again hoping to be an Aggie in the future, following his dad's footsteps. That pitch low away for a ball, kicks away from the catcher, and up to third base will be the base runner, Ross. He's now 90 feet away. See how they score that, if it's going to be a pass ball or a wild pitch. It came in, I'm not sure if Manuel has had an opportunity there to scoop that one out, but the runner moves over to third base. And now Walker, a chance to tack on another run here. That pitch skips in, another wild pitch, spike that one, the run will score, and it's now 9-4. Well, that was definitely a wild pitch. So I think 3 wild pitches in that at bat to Walker, who drew the walk, by the way, as he goes to first. And now what was a 9-0 laugher has turned into a 9-4 ball game as Faith has put a little bit of fight into this ball game here, and you'd expect that from Faith, although a brand new team, you know, personnel wise. They lost 8 of their starters off last year's state semifinalists, but now a little encouragement out on the hill as all the infield comes in to talk to Connor Vitale and say, you got it, man, we're behind you, just do what you do. And Vitale, who's battled through a lot of injuries, now looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. As we got a point toward the bullpen. And yeah, we've got a fresh arm coming in, and so this is where, again, some of that thin pitching staff for PCA starting to show up here a little bit, because James Valet doesn't have a ton of options in the bullpen. I mean, having used 4 pitchers last night, and now this will be the 3rd pitcher in the game, and we'll tell you who that is that is coming out to start warming up. I do believe that is going to be Connor Chambers, a freshman, who's going to come in and take over this situation here in the 5th inning. Yeah, it's going to be Chambers, big fella from the right side, who checks in 5'10", about 180 pounds, and he's going to be loosening up there. So 2 batters for Vitale, and he's gone with the walk and the 3 wild pitches. So now
new pitcher on the mound for PCA.
Turn it over to
Connor
Chambers, and we'll see what he can do to try to slam the door on this uprising. Now there's all of a sudden turned this one into a fairly interesting game. Now, of course, LaBeouf, who was outstanding through 4 2/3 innings, he's now done. The book is closed on him as he went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 3 runs, all earned on 4 hits. And again, for the job that he did, he deserved a little bit better line than that. He had 1 walk and 6 strikeouts as LaBeouf in the game threw a total of 71 pitches. 44 of those were strikes, only 27 balls. And then Vitale came in to face the one batter, and now Chambers checking in as he is set to face Jesus Leon, who stands in for the right side batter's box and takes that one downstairs. A ball and no strikes. Leon is 0 for 2 in the game. He is struck out, and he has fly to right field. Mentioned Leon, a special player, tons of talent. Scouts going to be looking at him as they continue to see him progress throughout the years. That snap throw to first after that pitch. And it's now a ball and no strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. 9-4 the score. Here's the set and the pitch. That one is a strike. Pumped that one through at the knees on the outside part of the plate. Two-one delivery. That one is a breaking ball, and that's a strike. And it's now 2-2. Well, if you're a Faith fan, you don't like what you've seen as far as your team battling back here because, you know, down 9-0. Team without heart and character could just say, yeah, this is done. We'll move to the next game. But they have not done that at all. They've continued to battle here. As Chambers comes to the plate, that one bounces in. Nice block by the catcher, Benuelos, to keep that one from skipping back. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes here. Runner at first. Again, the wind absolutely calm right now. Runner goes, and that pitch is ball 4. And back-to-back walks here in the inning. And now it's starting to get a little bit anxious if you're a PCA fan, because now as the 9th man set to come up, Colton Savage, one swing of the bat, and it could be a 2-run ball game if he could run into one. Pitch low and away, nice block by the catcher to keep that from going past. 1-0. So again, this all started with Stone Thompson, who singled to start the inning after Bowman bounced out, and Jordan Sloan was robbed on that incredible play by Valade over against the fence on the first base side. They had a runner on and 2 out, so all of this damage has come with 2 out. It's that breaking ball inside. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. After that, Hudson Smith got a single. Then Pedro Rivera with a double that drove in the 2 runs. That brought the pitching change. Vitale came in, then a single by Ross, a walk to Walker. And now Chambers in as he deals a strike to the zone. And now goes to 2 balls and a strike. Chambers walked the first batter. He faced Leon, and now runners at first and second, with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ball hit into the outfield. Looks like the center fielder is going to have a play nipping, and he's got it. And that will end the inning, but not before Faith bats around. They send 9 to the plate and come up with 4 runs in the inning, coming on 4 base hits, and there were 2 left on. So now this one draws a lot closer as we go now to the bottom of the 5th. Our new score, PCA 9 and Faith 4. As Lion Baseball continues for Metro Sports Communications.
With fast signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With Fast Signs, your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs, make your statement.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
Well, a 9-4 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Caleb Clendaniel out for his 3rd inning of work as he relieved the starter Serval, who went 2 innings, gave up the 5 runs in those 2 frames, and Clendaniel gave up 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. It made it 9-0 at one point, but now this has gotten a whole lot closer as Grapevine Faith scoring those 4 runs in the top of this inning, the 5th. And now Clendaniel back out to the hill, and we'll see if the Lions can go back to work, restart that offense. So it'll be the top of the order, Junior Niffen, try to get things underway. He'll be followed by Valade and then Benuelos. Again, Prestonwood so far has pounded out 12 base hits through 4 innings. And Niffen with 2 of those 12 as he's reached all 3 times he's been at the plate. He's got a walk and 2 infield hits. First delivery is a slider that drops through the zone for a strike, and it is 0-1. Clendaniel, since coming in, has thrown now 41 pitches, 28 of those strikes. Wheels back in with that delivery, and that one is going to be fouled over on the first base side. Now, the thing about Clendaniel, he throws a little bit drop down 3/4, kind of sidearmish. Whips this one in, and that just missed the inside corner. Boy, that was close. And it's now ball and 2 strikes. A lot of the infielders are starting to move to get ready, I think, for that ball to throw around. They thought it was a strike. Plate umpire disagreed. Here's the delivery. That's a curve, swung on and hit deep down the left field line, giving chase to the left fielder Smith, but it's out of play. Smith in left, Walker in center, Thompson in right. The defense, the outfield, Sloan, Rivera, Ross, and Savage from 3rd to 1st is a swing and a shot up the middle, and another base hit for Junior Niffen as he's got 3 hits in the ball game. With great speed, he's on at first, and something to start here for the Lions. As now Trent Valade set to come up. 2 hits in the game, 2 for 3, 2 stolen bases as Valade coming up from the left side batter's box. And again, that's the thing about this lineup, what makes it so impressive, there's just not a weak spot where you can rest up, take a batter off as Valade taps that one toward first base. Right on the line, it is fielded by Savage, and he gets the out at first. And boy, Valade said, I want my money back on that AB, because there was a little excuse me bouncer to the first baseman, and that'll send Niffen to second base. And there is 1 out, 1 on for Cruz Benuelos, who's 0 for 3. He is flat out, popped out, and grounded out. His 3 plate appearances. Clendaniel ready and deals. That one is a ball downstairs, I guess, and it's now 1 ball and no strikes here to Mr. Benuelos. James Valade, head coach over in the 3rd base coach's box. Christian Rodriguez, first base coach for Prestonwood. That curveball drops through for a strike, and it's 1-1. Very talented assistant coaching staff for the Prestonwood Lions as well. Austin Taylor, Richie Hare, Jeff Blackwell, the man they call the Weapon, all part of this group. Griffin Bailey, the pitching coach, all ACC performer at Louisville. As the runner goes, and that one is hit into center field, chasing back and toward the wall, and making the catch, the center fielder Walker Niffen, who was already all the way to third, had to turn around, scamper back to the bag at second. But a well-hit ball to center field by Benuelos, and he comes up with a fly ball out, and he's 0 for 4 in the ballgame. But man, put a charge into that one, and there's 2 gone. Here comes Aiden Moffitt. Moffitt so far in the ballgame is 2 for 3. You know, last night I don't know anyone had more than 1 hit for the Lions. Well, tonight pretty much everyone has more than 1 hit as they have pounded out 12 hits in the game as a team. Little check swing, foul at the plate, and it's 0-1. Guess realistically, not everybody can have multiple hits, or they would have 18 at least. But it seems like a lot of these guys have 2 hits. Riggs Huggins has 2. Jake Felsman has 2. Junior Niffen has 3. Here's a ball hit into center field. It'll get down for a hit. I beg your pardon, left center field. And coming around from second base to score is Junior Niffen, and an RBI single for Aiden Moffitt, and they're now in double figures for the second consecutive game, as it is 10-4 PCA on an RBI hit for Aiden Moffitt. Well, Niffen now scored his 3rd run of the game. That's what you want for your leadoff hitter. Get on, get around, and that's exactly what he's done in this one. And Moffitt getting RBI number 1 in the ballgame. He scored a run as well. He got that double his last time up. Now Max Bachman swings at this pitch, drops it in the shallow right field, trusting toward the line, and is down for a hit. He's going to round first. He's going to head for second. High throw gets away, and coming in from third to score is going to be Moffitt. Staying put at second is Bachman. And guess what? It's like deja vu all over again. It's 11-4. Well, that was a ball that dropped down the left field line. Thompson went over and got it and tried to get the ball quickly to second, wound up overthrowing back to the infield. So an error will be charged there that allows Moffitt to score. So that's an unearned run right there, and it's now a 7-run Lion lead again. Now here's Riggs Huggins, who had a homer his last time. Big left-handed hitter. Looks at that offering on the outside corner for a strike, and it is 0-1. Huggins, a left-handed power bat. Got a lot stronger in the offseason. He showed off its strength in that last at bat. Honorable mention All-District last year as a DH. Here's the delivery. That one is low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two out, runner at second. Again, back-to-back scores of 11-4 in the 2 days. This one not over yet. That one is shot down the left field line. It is going to get down for a base hit, and around at third is Bachman. He will score, as trotting into second is Riggs Huggins. He's having a whale of a day as he has a single, a double, and the home run in between. He gets the RBI there. That's his second of the day, and it is now 12-4. PCA on top. And again, if you're Robert Vaughn, the coach of Faith Christian, you don't have, a whole lot in the bullpen. You just kind of have to let Caleb Clendaniel sit out there and wear that right now, because not a lot of pitching left in the cupboard. And this game gets a little bit further out of balance again with the 8-run lead. Here's the curveball that is inside to the next hitter. That's Jake Felsman, who becomes the 7th man to hit here in the inning. And Felsman, had a good night last night, and he has gone 2 for 2 with a hit by pitch and 2 runs scored in this ball game. So he's been busy here. Pitch to the plate, swung on, and that one is raked into left field, backing out and underneath it. And there to pull it in is the left fielder Smith, and that will put an end to the inning. But PCA battles right back as they scratch 3 runs across in the inning. They get those 3 runs on a total of 4 base hits, and there was 1 left on base. So PCA has scored in every single inning of the game. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, new scorer PCA 12 and Faith 4, and Prestonwood baseball continues after this from Metro Sports Communications.
With friendly and knowledgeable dealers who install long-lasting and reliable systems, you can trust Comfort Maker to keep you a step ahead with advanced technology and exceptional comfort.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
Make your dream outdoor space a reality with Aquaterra Outdoors. From full-service design to construction for landscaping, pools, and outdoor structures, we offer everything you need for your ideal outdoor environment. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Aquaterra Outdoors, elevating outdoor living to the next level. Contact us today at 214-387-8333 or visit our website aquaterraoutdoors.com and start your journey to the ultimate outdoor experience.
Connor Chambers out for his 2nd inning of work after Faith batted around there in the 5th inning. He will face Stone Thompson, the right fielder, to get things started. He's 2 for 2 in the ballgame as Thompson. Be followed by Cody Bowman, the DH, and then Jordan Sloan, the scheduled hitters. As first ball swing, that one lifted in the air to left field. And a leadoff single for Stone Thompson, who's now had a perfect night as he is 3 for 3, and he's hit all 3 parts of the outfield. 1 to center, 1 to right, and that one into left field. So he's sprayed it. And Thompson, leadoff man on against Connor Chambers. Again, LaBeouf, the starter, went 4 2/3. He's in line for the victory. Here's a swing and a ball hit off the end of the bat. Going to be scooped up by Chambers. Goes to first and underhands it to Valade. And on the play, Thompson goes up to second. So it's a little swing that works like a sacrifice. Goes 1 to 3. Didn't, of course, try to bunt him along, but it works the same. And a man in scoring position. It'll be Jordan Sloan coming up. Sloan in the game is struck out and was robbed again by the first baseman Valade on a foul ball over at the fence back in the 5th inning. We're in the top of the 6th now as that delivery's outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Be sure you stick around after the game for the star of the game show. Looking through the choices, and there are several for our star of the game. Here's one swung on, lifted in the air toward shallow left. Backing out is the shortstop. Underneath it is Bachman, and he'll put it away. And the pop out retires Sloan. And there's out number 2 here in the inning. Runner has to stay put at second base. Take us down to the 9th spot of the order. We're going to have a pinch hitter coming in as Aaron Allen.
Number 22, Aaron Allen.
Aaron Allen. Going to get a shot to get a swing here in the 6th inning. Allen, a right-handed hitting junior, athletic, rangy outfielder. Pretty good hitter at the plate. Gap-to-gap action when he gets into one. Check back in the pitch. Swinging a ball hit sharply on the ground out toward the shortstop. Fielded by Bachman. Throws across in time. And that'll do it for the inning. So a good frame right there for Connor Chambers, who, despite giving up the leadoff single, comes back to retire the next 3 hitters in order. No runs, a hit, and 1 left on. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. The score remains PCA 12 and Faith 4. As you're tuned in to Prestonwood Christian Academy Baseball for Metro Sports Communications.
Storm damage? Don't wait until it's too late. At Up to Date Roofing, we bring top quality craftsmanship, honest pricing, and fast service to protect what matters most, your home. From repairs to full replacements, we keep your roof and your home up to date. Call us today and stay covered, rain or shine. Up to Date Roofing, keeping you covered no matter the weather.
Little Boston serenading the crowd here in Plano as Prestonwood with a 12-4 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Chuck Kelly, happy to have you with us tonight. Balance of the Metro Sports crew. Appreciate you tuning in on PCA Plano Athletics.org. All the play-by-play. You're tuned in on YouTube as well on the Prestonwood channel. Thank you for being with us. Tell folks wherever you might find them locally around the country, the place to find quality play-by-play coverage of Lion baseball. There's going to be some good home games all year long. Again, we're doing the home slate. Reminder, they'll be playing against Liberty Christian on Monday down at Dallas Baptist. And then they'll come back here next Thursday for a single game and a doubleheader scheduled for Friday. You know, small chance of rain there, but we'll see how that all plays out. As the leadoff hitter, Quinn Majewski, takes the first pitch for strike one, 0-1 from Caleb Clint Daniel, who's out for his 4th inning of work. That pitch is outside for a ball. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, PCA has scored in every single inning. As that one outside, 2-1. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third and the fourth, and then 3 in the 5th. So crooked numbers all over the board. Swinging a foul back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Today was supposed to be a doubleheader action. They had a team schedule that had a schedule change, and no game tonight or no game tomorrow with that club, so it turns into a single game. It's a swing and a miss, and down goes Majewski. And now Danny Looney is going to come up for his first at bat here in the ball game. He went in as a defensive replacement there in left field, and now he gets his shot as he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Looney, a junior, right-handed batter at the plate, pitches inside and high. That's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Swinging a foul tip into the mitt. The count there goes to 1-2. Again, star of the game interview coming up when we're done, so be sure you stay around after the game. Here's the set of the belt. Time is called at the plate. Right before Glenn Daniel was going to deliver. Looney backed out. Let's think about that for a second. Swings at this one and tomahawks it just past the third base coach, James Valet, who kind of feigned trying to make that play. I don't think he really wanted it. So it went down past him in toward the corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one sails all the way back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Catcher Cruz going to go out and talk to Clint Daniels for a second and try to settle him down after that pitch. Well, the pace of this one certainly turned out a lot better than last night's game, which was a full 3-hour marathon. I know that doesn't necessarily fit the definition of a marathon, but it sure seemed like it if you were here in the ballpark. 3 hours for a 6.5 inning game. That's a lot of baseball. Here's the delivery. That one is hit hard down the left field line, and it will drop in fair territory and go into the corner. Rounding first on his way to second is Looney, and he will be in with a stand-up double. Well, Danny Looney, the senior, getting an opportunity to do something there, and he takes advantage of it with a 2-base hit, and now Junior Niffen, the top of the order, trying to improve on a 3-for-3 game with a walk. He's reached all 4 times he's been to the plate. Couple of runs here could send us home a little bit early as we cross over the 2-hour mark. That pitch is a strike in the zone, and it's now 0-1 to Niffen, who again walked and scored in the first, had infield hits in the second and the third, and in the fifth had a single center field. Is that pitch taken out of the zone?
Scoreboard is not operating for us.
We've lost the scoreboard again, which we talked about earlier. Not the best news. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scoreboard is frozen up. Something's telling me that, I don't know if I'm talking out of school, but this might be the latter stages of the scoreboard, so maybe it's breathing its last few breaths. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's the delivery. That one is a strike called. Now the scoreboard said a ball and 2. It's not a ball and 2. Now it is. Now it's 1 and 2. I was used to trusting the board. Then it betrayed me. Ball and 2 strikes. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. And that one just missed the outside corner. Boy, Niffen lucky he didn't get rung up on that one. Valade waiting in the on-deck circle. Caleb Clendaniel trying to keep this game alive. It's the 12-4 game at the bottom of the 6th. 10-run rule looming if Niffen can cross the plate. Here's the pitch, swung on, that one hit sharply past the second baseman Ross into center field. Rounding third, being sent to the plate is Looney. He will score. RBI single for Junior Niffen, who's 4 for 4 in the ball game, and it's now 13-4 Prestonwood.
Next batter for PCA. First baseman, number 3, Brent Loveway.
Well, this brings up an interesting question here. With a 9-run lead, do you run Junior Niffen, who has great speed, to try to get him in scoring position to get that 10-run bulge? I don't think that you would do that, but ball 1 delivered inside. 1 ball and no strikes. James Valade and Rob Vaughn, great friends, so I'm not sure if that would be construed as pouring a little salt in the wound, as that one is a strike on the outside corner. Yeah, he's staying put. Not going anywhere. Daniel Reddy comes to the plate. The pitch is a strike in the knees. A 4 for 4 night for Junior Niffen. Ball hit out toward center field, and the catch made there by Walker, and that will retire. Valade for the second out here in the inning. Niffen has to go back to first. That'll bring up the catcher, Cruz Benuelos, who has been the only Lion that's been held out of the hit category in the game. As he's hitless in 4 plate appearances, you know he wants to whack one here and try to get in on the party. It's been a feeding frenzy tonight as the Lions have 15 hits as he swings at this pitch and hits it in the air to center field. Moving over underneath it and dancing and making the catch was Walker. Boy, that was a little sketchy for Faith fans. And did he get it? Yeah, he did. And that will end the inning. So we will go regulation here in this one, not getting out early, is a 9-run lead after 6 is what PCA has. A run on 2 hits and 1 left. So they continue their streak of scoring in every inning of the ball game. And boy, that's something you don't see just every so often. But we now go to the top of the 7th, trying to nail it down. PCA with a 13-4 lead. That's right. Scoreboard's not working right. 13-4, and we'll have more after this. You're listening to PCA Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite. That's just a recipe for a good time, you know?
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
13-4 as we go to the top of the 7th inning, as the Lions, again with an offensive onslaught, and now trying to finish things out here in the top of the 7th inning is Connor Chambers, who came in the 5th inning, as he will face the top of the order, Pedro Rivera, to get things started for Faith. And Rivera takes ball 1 ball and no strikes. Get our scoreboard, which was not functioning earlier. Then Repair got it going for the middle part of the game. Well, it is gone back on the blink, so we're having to use technology here in the booth to try to keep up with balls and strikes, which right now is 2 balls. No, beg your pardon, it's a 1 ball and 1 strike. Back to the plate, Rivera takes inside, and it's now 2-1 from Connor Chambers, the 3rd pitcher of the game. Steele LaBeouf, the sophomore, was outstanding. 4 2/3 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits, but he was dominant until right at the end. That pitch is outside, ball 4. A free pass issued to Pedro Rivera.
The pitcher, number 1, Cohen Ross.
And it is going to be Cohen Ross coming to the plate. He was 1 for 3. He singled and drove in a run in his last at bat. And he wound up scoring on a wild pitch, one of the 4 runs that the Grapevine Faith Lions have scored. Pitch out of the zone, ball and no strikes. Runner at first, being held there by Valade. Throw over. I would think he would probably not be going at this particular juncture of the game. Boy, looking at the offensive nights for Prestonwood, 4 for 4 for Junior Niffen, 2 for 5 for Trent Valade, 2 for 4 for Aiden Moffitt, 2 for 3 for Max Bachman, 3 for 4 for Riggs Huggins. He's going to fall 1 triple short of the cycle. So plenty of candidates for our Star of the Game interview. Be coming up here shortly. So this one's over. We'll give you the final totals, and then we'll get to that and head toward the finish line. Get to Friday dinner. Always tastes better with a win, they say, as that pitch is low for a ball. Three balls, no strikes. Chambers from the stretch. Again, the runner being held at first. And here's the pitch. That one's low, ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Put 2 on for Faith.
Second baseman, number 5, Jace Walker.
As Jace Walker comes to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Drew that free pass his last time out. And now the pitching coach for Prestonwood, Griffin Bailey's going to come out and have a word with Connor Chambers to try to settle him down again. There's not a whole army of relief arms that are available in this ball game, so I think Griffin's probably out there saying, "Now, come on, just throw strikes, let them hit it, and let the defense do the work, and let's go home." Boy, it's such a beautiful evening here tonight. I mean, it was absolutely sensational all night long. It started at 78 degrees at first pitch. And again, that's early in February, folks. Right now, sitting at 69. Meeting breaks up on the mound, ready to get to work here as Jace Walker stands in. First pitch from Walker, to Walker rather. A snap throw to first gets away after that pitch was a ball, and it'll get into right field. They'll throw toward the runner at second. He slides in safely. So that'll be a throwing error on Benuelos to allow the runners to move up 90 feet apiece, as Rivera will go to third base and Ross to second. Walker will stand in with the 2 men in scoring position. Chambers to the plate, hits the batter with a curveball, hit him in the helmet, and that will load up the bases. So this has not been a banner inning so far for Connor Chambers, as Jesus Leon, the catcher, now set to come up. He's 0 for 2 in the game, walked his last time up, and that's going to be the end of the day right there for Connor Chambers. So we'll see who James Valade goes to here, as he'll call to the bullpen. It's Chambers, who was fairly effective his last time, just kind of lost his mojo here in the 7th inning and wanted to finish this one off. And the call of the pen, we'll tell you who it is here in just a second, is down in the final stages of this ball game. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's been all PCA throughout, as they have scored in all 6 innings that they have sent batters to the plate. Built a big lead early, threatening to run rule Faith in the last inning, but didn't work out. Pitcher's going to be Preston Smith, a junior who comes in to get his first work of the year, so we'll enter him into the scorecard. So Preston Smith will follow Steele LaBeouf and Connor Vitale. And then Connor Chambers. Looking back over those lines, we told you about LaBeouf and what he did. He went the 4 2/3, gave up the 3 hits. Vitale faced the 2 batters. He didn't get anybody out. Gave up a hit, 1 unearned run, and walked a batter. And Chambers is going to leave with property on the base paths, but he went 1 1/3 innings. Gave up 1 hit. So far, he's not allowed to run, but he walked 3 batters. Didn't strike out anybody. And for the second consecutive night, I just messed up my scorecard. So that happens. You get late in the game. all in order now. So again, it would take a mighty rally here for Faith to try to get back into this one, but hey, baseball's a funny game, and you're throwing an unproven pitcher right here, which both of these teams really are throwing guys that, you know, are going to be depth pitchers, to say the least. Let's try to get deeper on into the ball game. So we'll see now what Smith, this is Preston Smith, can do with Leon at the plate. A runner at every base. Here's the wind, and the righty delivers high and away, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. So Jesus Leon with a heck of an opportunity here with one swing of the bat. He could double the output this ball game for Faith, as they've got the 4 runs so far. Same they got last night. There's a strike called. It's 1-1. Boy, the crowd jumped into that one after that pitch. I think he wanted to make it easy for the umpire and said, hey, that was definitely a strike. Smith ready. Here's the pitch. Oh, it sailed over the head of the batter. Did it get a piece of him? I guess not. Boy, he ducked out of the way to Leon. It went back to the screen and kicked right back to Benuelos. And fortunately for Prestonwood, none of the runners able to advance, particularly the one at third base. And that, of course, is Rivera. So now Leon, 2 ball, 1 strike count. Here's the line of the pitch. That one's high and away, and it's now 3-1. Again, Prestonwood missing several pieces of its pitching core, some of the bullpen arms that are out early in the season, nursing some bumps and bruises. So people getting some chances here, as that one is high for ball 4, and that'll force in a run. Well, this is not one you're going to put on your mantle. This 7th inning, a walk, a hit batsman, and a walk, with an error thrown in for good measure, but I guess that doesn't matter now with that walk forcing in the run. And it is now a 13-5 ball game. And that'll bring Colton Savage to the plate, where he's got a shot. Savage, so far in the contest, is 0 for 3, struck out a couple of times, and fly to center field. His first pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1. Again, the crowd really getting into it with the strikes. They when they see one that's close, they roar. And don't know if that has a influence on the plate umpires. A swing and a topper right back to the mound. Speared there by Smith. Comes home for 1, back to first. Double play. And that is the way to do it. First twin killing of the year for PCA, and it comes at a great time. Runners still at second and third here. But 2 outs for Faith, and it remains a 13-5 ball game as Stone Thompson set to come to the plate. Again, Thompson, big-time golfer. He and his brother Max. Again, they've got the 3rd triplet brother in the family. So Thompson's all around there. As a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Faith down to its final out. Again, final totals coming up. We'll have our Star of the Game interview. Stick around. The pitch comes all the way back to the screen, but again, nobody can move because it pops right back to Benuelos, and everybody stays put. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. I think the fans here are getting a little edgy. They want to go ahead and get this last out and head to dinner time. Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball, hit foul over to the third base side. And now we're on the lip of the cup right here to try to finish this one off. Right-handed batter Thompson back in. A ball and 2 strikes. Preston Smith, now time called at the plate. Smith steps out. Here's the set. Pitch on the way. Called strike on the outside corner, and that is the ball game. Well, that was kind of an anticlimactic end, and I'm not sure that Wesley Rose was like, that's plenty. Let's get out of here. Everybody just held on for a minute. They didn't know what to do. One run, no hits, and 2 left in the inning. That was funny.
Baseball fans, we want to thank you very much.
And that one brings us to an end. And we'll have the final totals coming up for you in just a moment. And again, don't go away because the star of the game is coming up. PCA wins it. Final score 13-5. Final totals coming next. You're listening to PCA Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? Hi, I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
Well, Prestonwood improves to 2-0 on the year. Here are the final totals for the ball game. For Prestonwood, 13 runs, 17 hits, 1 error, and 7 men left. For Faith, 5 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left. The winning pitcher for Prestonwood is sophomore Steele LaBeouf, who is outstanding with that 4 2/3 innings performance. He is 1-0 on the year. Jake Serville, who won a couple of innings, is tagged with a loss. He's 0-1. The time of game was 2 hours and 17 minutes on a beautiful night here at the ballpark as Prestonwood wins it by a score of 13-5. A short timeout here, and our star of the game interview coming up next as you continue with Prestonwood Lion baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
Hey there, Lion Nation. I'm Rudy Casanova, owner and president of Global Strategic Business Process Outsource Solutions. In athletics, teamwork is everything. Each player has a role, and when they come together, they achieve greatness. At Global Strategic, we believe the same principle applies to the workplace. When the right people come together, your business thrives. Let Global Strategic help you build a winning team at work. Visit www.globalstrategic.com for more information and schedule some time with me or one of my team. The Casanova family and Global Strategic are proud supporters of the PCA Athletic Program. Go Lions!
With fast signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With Fast Signs, your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs. Make your statement.
Make your dream outdoor space a reality with Aquaterra Outdoors. From full-service design to construction for landscaping, pools, and outdoor structures, we offer everything you need for your ideal outdoor environment. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence. Aquaterra Outdoors, elevating outdoor living to the next level. Contact us today at 214-387-8333 or visit our website aquaterraoutdoors.com and start your journey to the ultimate outdoor experience.
Well, we continue on the wrap-up show here as Prestonwood wins game number 2 over Faith. Final score 13-5 this evening. Chuck Kelly here in the booth, joined by our star of the game, sophomore Steele LaBeouf, who went out and twirled a gem in this game. And, man, for a sophomore getting a start second game of the year and having an opportunity against a team that was a state finalist last year, what were your thoughts coming into this ball game, and how do you feel you handled the situation?
It was a blessing, being able to just come out and start the game, our second game of the season as well. It was amazing. And to be able to come out and do such a good job, and being able to just dial in and be able to do my thing, it was amazing.
What was it that you had going? I mean, because it was right from the outset. You had your stuff. You had command of the strike zone. You threw a lot of first pitch strikes. I know that's important. So what was it, mentally and physically that was working for you?
Just kind of taking deep breaths and making sure that I'm in the zone, being able to go up there and keep my frequency, be able to constantly be pitching. It's just kind of my thing, be able to go up there fast and quick.
What was the mindset, like when you wake up this morning, you're like, hey, I'm the starting pitcher today. I mean, for a seasoned veteran, Savion Sims is one thing, as a sophomore coming in and getting an opportunity on this team, what was that like for you, waking up today and kind of getting mentally prepared for this?
It's just another game at the end of the day. Even if I am starting, it's the same thing every time. There's no difference, even if I'm relieving or closing them, same thing. Just can't change anything.
Now, the thing that I noticed in the game, and I know that your teammates love this, the fact that you don't mess around. You get the ball and you pitch. You don't have them standing around. Is that something you consciously pay attention to work quickly?
Yeah, that's just kind of something that I do to make sure that I'm really in it. If I take too long, then the hitters get the ability to actually think, and I can't give them the ability to think.
So let's go into the end of your performance there as you started to get through the order that second time and were coming back up to the top of the third. Was it just a matter of, running out of gas a little bit?
Yeah, my fastball was still dialed in, but I was trying to work in my other pitches as well, just kind of give them the ability to keep them off balance since they were coming back through the lineup.
So as starting the varsity as a freshman year, what was that like? Being a part of this program and, getting to play at this level, what's that like for you?
It was my brother's senior year last year, so being able to be there as a freshman and just being able to be there with him for his last year, it was just a blessing, man. It was amazing, and to be able to be there for my skill and not just because Coach wants me to be there is a blessing. It's awesome.
What was that relationship like, getting to enjoy that, because, PCA fans know what he meant to this program, and for you getting to be a little brother, what was that like?
It was amazing. It was just, I've seen him in the stands all the time, watching him. I've been watching him since I was a little kid. He's a phenomenal player, and just being able to be in there with him and talk to him and make sure that me and him are together, it was amazing. It was once in a lifetime.
Now, what's that dynamic like with older brother? Is he hard on you, or when he's trying to help you along? What's that like?
He's always helped me with everything, but I'm the one that's a little harder on him than he is on me, just because I have high standards for me and for him. But just, it's amazing, last year was awesome, man.
What does this do for your confidence?
Boost it, way up there right now. I feel like I can lift the world off my shoulders right now. It's just being able to go in there and do the thing that I always do. It's awesome.
Well, with this performance, I know that you can't wait to get the ball the next time and get out there and do it again. But, with a couple of guys on the shelf, or at least right now, you needed to have a performance like you. Did you have any idea that you go as long as you did today, or did you just say, I'm going to go as long as I can take it?
I was just hoping that my arm was giving me the ability to do what my mind wanted to, but